Two-tone APs, looking like Weezy. Haven't seen.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of 1 a.m. I'm Rashad, joined here by RB Mo and Jelani. Fellas, how are y'all feeling tonight?
Y'all was trying to say I gotta I feel like I said this before. I gotta come up with a catchphrase or something. Like it can't. I was about to say I've been good, bro. But I feel like we got like at least 5 episodes with me starting off like that.
Hey man, as long as it's good, better than bad. But
that's a fact.
Hey, it's better than how we started that first episode. We were talking about how we were crying and stuff.
Oh, that was crazy.
I walked out. So it rained today at the end of work at like 4:57 or whatever. And I get off at 5. So like everybody know, like I don't have no car down here, so I'll be walking. So my coworker, she looked at me, she said, "You need a ride, Rashad?" And I was like, maybe I like the steps that I get from walking. And then I was like, let me see, but it's raining real hard. She's like, yeah. She's like, how about this? How about you walk out to the parking lot with me out back? And then if it's still raining or whatever, then, you can come with me. And if not, you can walk home. I said, okay, cool. So I walked back out there. And while we were walking back there, she said, so how have you been? And I was like, So that's a good question. And I was like, it's not that I'm doing bad. It's just like, it's a automatic response just to say, I'm doing well. I'm all right. I'm good. And, I just didn't want to just do that just without thinking about how I was actually doing. So I don't know how I'm actually doing, but I think I'm all right.
Okay, I guess we can unpack that.
I think I'm just tired. Like I was just tired at the moment when she asked me because it was the end of the workday, and I feel like I've been going like the past. I feel like ever since Essence, I've been going kind of nonstop, and I'm just like, whew, just trying to catch my win.
Nah, I feel that, man.
Wait, did you
go ahead?
No, I was gonna say, did you tell her that when you when she
Yeah. I told her I felt tired. Yeah, I did. I didn't say I felt like I've been going since Essence. I didn't tell her that, but I told her like I feel like I am a bit pooped.
The reason I was asking because I've had situations where like you'll ask somebody. I'm not saying that she was doing this, but I've had situations where like you'll ask somebody how they doing, but you're just asking, just being polite, just like normal conversation, and then they really tell you how they doing, and you don't know how to handle it because you wasn't really expecting. You just thought they were just gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I'm cool" or whatever, and then they start telling you like about their wife divorcing them or something like that.
I feel like it's a few things that it's just like you shouldn't do, like, and that's one of them. You shouldn't ask someone how they're doing if you're not ready for the most dramatic response of how you're doing. You should just ask them that weather, right? Oh, those Cowboys. What about those break? Like, don't keep it something surface level other than a fake surface level question. It's a fake surface level question might get you a real answer. And it's like trying to think of any other pet peeves I have. Like the whole brother thing, like, oh yeah, that's my brother. Like, no, that's not your, like, everybody that you've ever met is not your brother, bro.
Bro, like dudes that know somebody, it'll be somebody they've never even met before. It's just like they've been following each other on social media for a long time and be like, yo, that's the bro. Like if something happens to that person, you wouldn't even know their government name. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't really know that guy like that.
Mo, you on mute?
I was saying, nah, that's a fact. Yeah, a lot of times people be, everybody want to be big bro. But I ain't gonna lie, I don't say, really claim somebody to be my brother, but I'm a person that use bro a lot. Just somebody that I've had at least a couple conversations with you. I'll be like, what's up, bro? Little just kind of, I guess that's my gang, my mud. You feel me? Like, what good, mud? What's good, gang? Like, I'll be like, what's good, bro?
Yeah. Oh, you finished over?
No, I was just gonna say when I was in LA, the last time I met the dude, right, that I never met before or whatever, waiting in the line and stuff. And so like ever since then, we kind of like hung out for the rest of the trip. And when we met these other two people or whatever, and we were like all four of us talking, I said, we were like, yeah, we just met. And they was like, oh, snap. And they was like, we just met. I said, oh, snap. I was like, oh, yeah, that's my brother. Like, that's the last time I said it that was like in a joking fashion. But it was in a joking fashion because it was just like, I don't know this guy. But that I feel like that's the only time in my life I've used like brother in a I don't know this person. This is a joke.
I'll say the word like I'll say bro just as like lingo, but it's not like it's no different than me saying like bruh or something like that. Like I'm not literally saying this is my brother right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. I was what made me think about that the other day. We gotta have our weekly Drake topic. It was on TikTok. Somebody had posted an old video of Drake and he was talking about LeBron. I want to say this video might have been from the video shoot for I'm On One. So this was 2011. But they were asking Drake about his relationship with LeBron, and he was just like, yeah, LeBron's been my brother for a long time. Like, he's real family right there. That's my guy. And I was just doing the math. I was like, bro, at that point in his career, Drake might have known LeBron for like 2.5 years at the most. Like, Drake got popping like 08 around that time. Like,
Bron claims he was at a mixtape release party in Toronto for Drake in 07.
Oh yeah, he did. I saw that too. He said he's known.
So Drake, I mean, LeBron claims that. So I don't know if it was 07 or if it was a little LeBron stretching it out and it was really 08, when Successful popped off, because I felt like that's when like at least the internet knew about Drake outside of Canada. But yeah.
Drake did have, he had like I know Chris Paul was on So Far Gone or whatever. So he did have some connections before he like all the way blew up. So it's possible. Like we know LeBron is a hip hop head and he stays tapped in. So I could see to an extent, but like I don't think that they was brothers by that point. I just feel like, especially in that industry, the entertainment industry, like them dudes, they meet each other one week and be brothers the next.
He was definitely lying about Migos.
Oh yeah, bro. Migos. I didn't hear about Migos till I want to say Bando came out like fall 2012.
2012.
That was when I first heard about them. Yeah, and we grew up
in Georgia.
For any listeners that don't know,
we were in high school when Migos popped in Georgia. Like
right outside.
We are the exact demographic that will hear it first.
And we all heard them around the same time, right? Like fall 2012, around that time. Like, yeah, exactly. So I don't know, man. I actually like the fact that LeBron is a shameless capper the way he is. Like, it gives us a personality.
Nah, I feel that. I mean, yeah, LeBron gonna say whatever he feel he needs to. But I think the thing that's a one little chink in his armor, because if it wasn't for that man would be darn near perfect, man. Got a black wife, on a school, high scoring player in the NBA. That man, he really be doing it.
Knows how to keep his side. Yes.
Right. Yo, y'all saw this stuff with Yes Jules?
Yeah, I just want to say before we get to that, Rich Paul, we trolling, we joking. I don't want the.
Hey, Jeff T had the apology ready. I said, "Dang, bro."
Oh no, he had to. He got that. He did. He wasn't lying. We talked about that on here before. He wasn't lying about what he said, but he got to go outside and move with his family.
I don't like. Hey, I might have to step for my man's Jeff Teague, man. Real Atlanta. Atlanta got to stand by each other, man. I don't like how they picking on Teague this week. They pulled up a quote he said about Polio. Polio. He's picking Banchero over Wemby, but he said that last week, and they just now posting it tonight. I'm like, bro, y'all gotta chill, bro. Y'all gotta chill on Teague, bro. Like, this man makes good jokes. It's a funny pod. Like, You know what I'm saying? Let them get their stuff off. Let them get their jokes off, bro. Y'all don't do this with Arenas because Arenas and Rashad McCants and them jokers over, they just say the most off the wall, inaccurate stuff. Don't nobody check them for it. Teague and them, they talk about basketball. They know what they talk about. Teague give an outrageous take for the sake of the joke, for the humor, and now everybody take it seriously. Like, y'all gotta chill on my man's Teague, bro. Even though they still gotta, you know what I'm saying, they still gotta work their way back from talking down on black women and laughing at them with Charleston White in the now deleted episode. But other than that, like, that is still my man. So still Atlanta, man. So shouts out to T. I got to back off the Atlanta legend, bro.
I didn't know they deleted that episode.
They did.
Oh man.
And it was a Patreon exclusive too.
It gotta be bad to delete a Patreon episode. I seen Angel Reese. She the shoe looked fire too. I actually low-key was thinking about getting those shoes eventually. She got the Me Bounds.
Yeah.
The all pink. They look fire. But Mo, what was you saying about Yes Jules? I ain't mean to cut you off, my bad, bro.
Oh, I don't really know the full what happened or what came out, but allegedly they were trying to say Yes Jules had an affair with LeBron back when he was in Miami. And because as I said, I literally was just on Twitter scrolling a little bit, and then I saw Yes Jules tweet out, "Keep me out of it." And then I saw another tweet that was like, "Oh, the Yes Jules interlude on Drake's new album gonna go crazy." And then I saw her do a whole video. Like somebody in the comments had posted a video where she was talking about like, "Oh, you know, yeah, just because we hung out back in those days doesn't mean we hooked up. You know, I did like, you know, date one of his friends with somebody he was close with, but you know, LeBron, I never did anything with him." So, yeah, I don't know.
They've been trying to put that on his jacket with her forever. Like they'll retweet the old pictures of them hanging out and like old tweets of him mentioning her. People, the reach, like the crazy reach that people try to do is I don't know if you remember that clip song "Popular Demand" that had Cameron on it or whatever, but Pusha T had a line on there about how he was messing with the same. I don't think he was being literal. He probably just said the line just to say it, but like he was saying he was messing with the same girl that LeBron was messing with, and he said it was a white girl. So now people try to take that back to that line just being messy, but I don't know, man. It's hypothetically speaking, like you know, I'm not gonna put that on LeBron's jacket, but if that did happen, like the type of NDA he would make you sign would be you never hearing like that man been in the league 22 years, bro. We ain't seen no tell-all books, no. Up until this week, it wasn't even like a real story for real, and that's mostly because the whole Drake situation.
Now he had LeBron had a conspiracy. Sharon Reed, the news anchor.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was one from when she was in Miami. He was in Miami, and then she moved up to Atlanta. She had the kid, but the kid, it looks nothing like LeBron. So, like, because the kid is like, it's her daughter. Her daughter has got to be like 10 or something like that. Now it looks nothing like LeBron. Just looks like Sharon Reed. So, someone tried to say a few years ago he got a son in Gwinnett. I think with people like LeBron, it's difficult to have a hidden kid because his features are so distinct. Like, it's not many people that just look like LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'd be tough to kind of prove that, to be honest. As opposed to like Jay-Z, I know probably a few people like Jay-Z. Mo, I wanted to ask you this, and Jelani as well. First of all, I wanted to pull this up. I'll pull this up first when we were talking about the brother situation. The ultimate brother.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
So that was the first brother. And then the second thing I want to ask, like, what did y'all think this meant?
Yeah, I don't know. Cause especially at the end, where he had, I don't know if you saw I think it was like Stay Tuned,
Yeah.
It had the Pinocchio face on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
I think
I don't know
he talking about either Kendrick or LeBron or both.
True.
Because this week the big discussion was after Drake dissed him again, which is crazy because it's like, why is LeBron this terrible person? He had no loyalty. When Drake was the one dissing him, like this is just LeBron responding to Drake's diss to me. So they play Not Like Us. He know people gonna record him, and he dancing to it. This time Savannah joined in, and I think Savannah joining in because Drake was a legend. Like, yeah, I used to help you cheat on Savannah. So like Savannah, like, oh, F him, So she dancing with the two. And I think this is him kind of running away from the lies that LeBron's trying to throw in his name, and the lies that I guess Kendrick is trying to throw in his name from the biggest song of that beef.
True. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
My first thought when I saw Pinocchio is Kanye.
Ah.
But I don't think it had nothing to do with Kanye. But that was just my first thought. When I see Pinocchio in music now, my first thought is always Pinocchio. Like Kanye with like Pinocchio story and stuff.
Pinocchio story. What's that? That's an old Kanye song?
Oh yeah. It's at the end of 808 and Heartbreaks. And yeah, he only performed it live. It was a live song that he did that he put on the end of the album.
Yep, right there.
Pinocchio. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know this song. But it was just like off top. I was like, I didn't know, but I know that song.
Yeah, that's why for me it was hard for me to really. I was like, I don't know what this means, but like as I said, first thing I thought was Kanye, but it wasn't. I was like, I know this had nothing to do with Kanye, so
yeah, Kanye, he not relevant enough right now for him to be dissing him.
Yeah, no, exactly. But yeah, I guess running from the lies, running from the person who's trying to be real, or the people who are trying to be real, but who just consistently keep telling lies. And I guess it could be a diss to LeBron if that's who you want to fit it to Kendrick, or just the people in general, But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. Now that I really think about it, I can see it definitely being like a shot. And maybe you got another diss track coming called, Pinocchio, like, or something of that nature where he finna diss somebody. And I can definitely see it equating, like him trying to equate it to, somebody who wants to be real, but they're not. And they just keep telling lies,
Yeah. I want to play this.
I'm telling y'all, the CDQ is going to change our minds. I think Drake's going to play some other shit. Y'all hate him, bro, but it's just the audio. Wait. Phone's fire. Huh? Where the fuck you going, bro? Hey, Iceman, what the fuck? Where the fuck is the Iceman going? I'm telling y'all.
So that was pretty much everybody's kind of live reaction to watching the live stream tonight of like, he did all that for one song. Now, he did play a beat at the end, and then he played like Mo was kind of speculating Central C's potential interlude, just a Central C song. And then the symbolism of the Pinocchio. So yeah, I mean, we weren't really fed tonight, to be honest. But apparently Drake texted Aiden because I guess he saw this clip going viral of Aiden getting frustrated, and he told him to be patient. It's on the way. So who knows? By the time that you guys hear this episode, Iceman could very well be out, and there's that. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw some of Kai reacting to it.
Yeah, my But my laptop.
All right, Chad. He says, just be patient, guys. The album is loading. All right, the album's loading, he said.
So y'all think it's coming out tonight?
Nah, Slick, no.
He didn't sound like it was close to being finished, to be honest.
What you mean by that?
He spoke on it at the Birmingham show over the weekend. He said, "Yeah, I'm working on Iceman," but he said working like ing.
Yeah.
I don't know when Tyler recorded that dang that album, this album, because I don't know if you guys seen the video of him in the studio like dancing to it, but he's got the mustache. I haven't seen him with that mustache until like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, he probably just did the video.
Nah, but hold on. Look, hold on. What was the song called? The song, I'm That Guy joint. Now don't tap that glass. Hold on. Let me see what it's called. Sucker Free. Let me see. Sucker Free. Let's see if I can find the video. Sucker Free Studio. That must not be the song he was dancing to in the studio. Let me put Tyler Studio. But yeah, he's like dancing in the studio while recording. There it is. I found it. It'll stop playing with me. But he's got the mustache. And like I said, he's been on tour this whole time. And he's only he's only had this mustache like 2 weeks.
I gotta give that album another listen tomorrow because I told y'all in the chat I was like on first listen I was kind of like it was like a 6 out of 10 for me at first, but I'm gonna give it a full listen again tomorrow. I'm gonna see what's up.
Yeah, I like the I like the few songs like that Sucker Free song. Don't Worry. Is it Don't Worry About It?
That Atlanta joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
This is a month ago. He has a mustache.
Oh, okay.
All right.
No, I like that you did the research to figure this out.
Right. Well, because it was like this threw me off. I said, this mustache just happened. And then but
it's like how Drake went from
the braids. Drake goes from like a fade to braids. And
he'll have a mini afro one day and then have Iverson braids the next day.
Like, no, this man Kendrick said, "What is it? The braids?" And then he cut off the braids after that. And then he got braids 2 months. I said, "Come on, bro."
Yeah, I feel like you should say something more.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like it definitely threw me off when I saw that man back with braids. I was like, where'd this come from?
I feel like the rappers used to do that too back in the day. Like R. Kelly was bald for like forever, like the first 10 years of his career, and then one day, like he just popped up in a video with like full length braids out of nowhere. I feel like this happened a few times too. I'm trying to think of like other celebrities that just came out of nowhere. With I know during COVID that became a thing. You started to see a lot of people who never had hair in their life just out of nowhere. Like there's a picture of Chris Rock with braids from around that time, around COVID era. It's just, I know he was just in the crib, just like why not? You know what I'm saying?
I grew out my goatee during COVID.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
How did you like the look?
I mean, it was a solid look. It's it's crazy to look back on because I had it for like a good minute. Now that I look back on it, but yeah, I had like the full connect. You know, Rashad looked back at the photo from Fadia's wedding, and I had to go tee then.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a photo. But yeah, it was I was like, I was like, it was an interesting look. But yeah, I like more of the goatee without the handlebars look now. I was like, it's a cleaner look.
I low key feel like COVID affected, because I'll see people talk about like how COVID affected them and how negative, and it like I can understand if you lost family or something like that, like obviously, but even people who didn't really lose family, I'll see people talk about how negatively it affected them, and I feel like it affected people that was younger than us more so than our generation, like people who was in high school or college around that time. Like I don't really feel like, obviously, like we couldn't do certain stuff for maybe like a year and a half, but I don't really feel like it threw my life off that much, honestly.
No, facts.
Well, I feel like as an adult, like you just kind of don't do much. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you kind of just like go to work and that's kind of it. You know? Like
Yeah,
if you're in college, you have like the whole kind of your entire social life is based off of the school calendar. If you're in school or not. Okay, wait, hold on. There it is.
it's not a bad look. You definitely look older, but it ain't a bad look. It's crazy. You look younger now than you do in that picture.
Yeah, that's why I like the without the handlebars now. Cause I was like, yeah, it feels crazy saying handlebars. I feel like I'm part of like YMCA or some shit.
No, but I think COVID, like people who were, especially the kids who were in high school around that time,
Yeah.
I really think I think the combination of them having kids who were in school in general, like that generation, them basically like losing that year socially, and the advent of AI, like I feel like that's really, that's really gonna have a negative effect on the next generation. Like I'll be seeing teachers on TikTok talk about how like a lot of these kids are struggling with basic math, basic reading, but it's because like they use AI.
Well, he meant to say because the parents failed them. The parents don't know how to homeschool. They thought it was easy.
Oh yeah. They once it was virtual learning, they said them kids just pulled up them answers in another tab, and then they opened them schools back up. They said, "What's 1+1?" They said,
Fish.
fish." But yeah, man, like I think the thing I'm like feeling the way about if I was a kid is prom, because like prom now as an adult, not that big of a deal. It's not a big deal at all. Like most of the people that we went to prom with, we don't even know them. We don't even talk to them no more. So there's that. However, as an 18-year-old, prom is like it's like a big deal because you grow up watching movies and TV shows where they're like, "Oh, you gonna take Jenny to prom, or you're gonna take Kyle to prom? Oh, I gotta go to prom. I have to be the prom king, the prom queen." So like have that taken away from you, like when you've been waiting your entire life for it, 17, 16 years, it's gotta sting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, prom was lit. So I definitely understand that. That would definitely be trash. It just even the graduation process, a lot of new kids didn't really get to graduate. I remember driving down by the square and you'll see like kids, with their families, and it's like honk, the kid you graduated something. I was like, looking back on it, that's so sad, bro. Because that's all they got.
Yeah, my bad. My internet acting kind of weird, but yeah, no, I'm kind of. It's funny that we started the episode off talking about like Rashad talking about like how he was doing, but I definitely I'm not negative about the future, but I'm not like, it's just a lot going on right now, man. Like when you watch the news, and I try not to be like a fear monger or anything like that, but it's like it's a lot going on in America, dog. Like at one time, we just talk about financially, like wages staying the same, but everything going up, and then you got the environment. You guys, it's a lot going on right now, bro. I don't want to make this the paranoia episode though, but
No, I definitely feel you, bro.
did y'all COVID times where y'all like pro mask, anti mask?
Oh, I was 100% pro mask for sure.
Oh, I know you. Oh, yeah, we talked about you. You wearing
Yeah,
a mask.
I still wear a mask on the plane.
That's crazy because I remember this might have been this is like 2022, so COVID was kind of like winding down a little bit. But I remember I used to like I would take like public transportation to work sometimes. I would wear the mask just because like I don't want nobody. I don't want like a pretty girl I went to high school with driving by and seeing me catching the bus or something like that. So I remember one time I was standing out by the bus stop wearing a mask, and this was like after COVID started to wind down, and somebody drove by and was yelling out the window like, "Hey, bro, COVID is over." And they like at first I just ignored them or whatever, and they kept yelling like till they pulled off. And I was like, bro, I didn't know this. Like, I didn't know this really. I thought this was just some internet stuff. I didn't know this really bothered people like that. That people wear their mask.
Yeah, I worked in a restaurant at the time, so wearing the mask was mandatory for us. But yeah, and I worked in Sandy Springs, so a lot of older white people would come in, and yeah, they'll be like, yeah, like why are y'all still wearing masks? Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, man, it don't really matter to me. It's just not that deep. Like I'm doing it because I got to, and but the one thing that's crazy about that whole time is how people reverted back to being nasty so quick.
Man, grocery store lines, bro. Thank you so much for that alley-oop, Mo. Grocery store lines, bro. Please, at the very least, the least you can do is keep your cart behind me. At least give me that space, dog.
Right.
Like you on my neck in line, bro. I don't rock with it. I don't care. That's one thing that COVID got me used to. 6 feet distance, bro. I can deal with that. Please stay in your bubble. I stay in mine. That being all up on my you rushing to get your food on the conveyor belt. They're gonna check out your food at the same time.
Right.
We still gotta ding 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 my stuff. How you doing? Have a good day. Okay, all right. What is you rushing for? Get off my neck. Get off my back, yo snotty nose kid. It touching. Can I get some gum? Can I get a bag of chip, mom? Can I get a magazine? Man, get out my face, bro.
Right.
That's it.
No,
Yeah, I was somewhere.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say I was somewhere the other day and had somebody. I was waiting in line, and it was only like 3 of us. I'm giving the person ahead of me like I'm standing like at least a good 6 feet behind them because it's just common sense. And then somebody comes behind me, and they just standing right. And I'm like, bro, do you think this is gonna make the line move faster? Like we just sitting here uncomfortable. Like what is the point of this? But I don't even know if people do it on purpose or if it's just human nature, I guess.
Yeah. Excuse me. I think the thing that annoys me the most that I wish people would have just stuck with, washing your hands. People just don't really care to wash their hands. And, you realize, during that time, that was something, because I think that was a time for us to see how easily it spreads and how just the simple things can keep it from spreading. But yeah, people are like, all that stuff, they feel like it's all manufactured. But I do feel, how do y'all feel about COVID shots now in 2025? Not like getting them now, but in hindsight, how they forced everybody to take the COVID shots. And, if you didn't take a COVID shot, it was, it was frowned upon. I know, I'll be honest. The main reason, 2 reasons I got a COVID shot. First one, I wanted to travel. So to travel, you need a COVID shot. You need to show COVID shots and whatnot. But secondly, my ex was very, very big on. She wanted me to get it, and it turned into like a really big argument one day because I was kind of like, before I wanted to travel, I was like, man, I don't really know if I want to get it, because it wasn't even like on some like, oh, I'm anti-vaccine. It was just more of like, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this just yet. Like, I'd rather, and then, they say they putting some of the antibodies in you so that you can catch a little bit of the sickness and then you'll be immune to it, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm not really rocking with all that, just to be honest. But she was very adamant about me getting it and was very upset that I didn't get it yet. So I just went ahead and got it. But now it's like, in hindsight, we don't know if one is just completely not needed at all anymore. Like, nobody cares if you got COVID shots. They had people who then got 3-4 rounds of COVID shots, and it made it seem like if you didn't get this, you're causing the spread. But now it doesn't mean nothing. And then with it being made so quick, that is one thing that I am curious to see, and I pray, it doesn't really have no effect, years from now. But I think everything happens so fast, and we really don't know what the effects of any of this stuff is. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess I'm curious about y'all thoughts of the COVID shots in hindsight now. Do you feel like I'm glad that they pushed it the way they did, or are you feeling like maybe they was kind of overreacting? Like, I don't know. Like, what are y'all thoughts now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I regret getting it. Just because at the time it was kind of being marketed like it was going to be like a real. We didn't know how long it was going to last. Like, we had no clue. So it was being marketed as something that you were going to need in the future just to be able to live basic life. So I just went ahead and got it when they probably like a couple months after they came out. But I wouldn't say I regret it. It's just so my dad had blood clots, right? I ended up having a blood clot 2023, but I don't know if that's from that or more than likely I feel like it's just genetics. But there have been like studies and things showing YouTube, we're not trying to connect it to. I know that this is, you know what I'm saying? But there have been studies showing that there's been like a rise in young people having like cardiovascular issues and blood clots and things of that nature. So I don't know if they're related, but like I just kind of feel like it if I could do it over again, I'll probably just wait it out. But that's easier to say now, knowing that by the time we got to like summer 2022, it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? When it's like late 2020, early 2021, and they first starting to come out, you just want to get out the house and be able to move around and be back outside. So I probably wouldn't do it again if I could go back, but I don't regret doing it because it was necessary at the time.
Right. I guess, how you feel about Rashad?
I mean,
I have noticed he purposely stayed silent. he wasn't like quick to click the unmute button.
okay, well, so this how I feel about it, bro. It's like COVID was a big deal, right? We was all out in the house. We all know people who were getting it and stuff like that. And we know of people who died from it. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not we knew them personally or we just, heard a celebrity die from it or something like that. So it's like, for me, it was a big deal. And then they introduced the vaccines. The numbers start going down. And eventually, after a few months, the restrictions start lightening up. And now we kind of back to as close to normalcy as we'll probably get post-COVID right now in 2025. I think the only reason why that's the case is because the vaccines came out and they forced so many people to take the vaccines. So I felt like it worked. It worked.
Yeah, I think overall it did work. Like I don't want to make anybody, like when I made that point about the cardio, I'm not saying that's exactly true or anything connected. I was just bringing that up. But I do think overall, like, I think they did as much as they could. I still think that it's so crazy to me that we can even talk about it like in past tense now. Like because that was 5 years ago, but it just feels like I just remember everything about that early 2020 era, like just because so much was happening. Like we start off the year, uh, I think Kobe died, and then Pop Smoke died right after that, and then like a month later, it was like the COVID shutdown. Everything was just happening like real fast around that. Not to say that like Pop Smoke dying was like some global event or anything like that, but like as a fan of his music, that was a sad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was. That's just a weird year. And then obviously George Floyd that summer, the NBA bubble, like bro, that was a weird year to look back on, just from a pop culture standpoint of everything that was happening.
I think about the when you brought up the bubble, I think about the NBA players meeting after Jacob Blake. And they said them jokers talked for like an hour or two, and then they at the end of it, they just all looked at Bron, and he was just like, and that was their sign to
Bro.
go back to playing basketball. Grown men looking
They
at
wasn't.
LeBron James for the thumbs up to play basketball again. They said, "Daddy, is it okay if we go outside and play the ball again?" And he said, "Yes, son." And they said, "Hey, the king has spoken. Come on, man." NBA players like they thinking I forgot about that. I did not forget. I'm on all y'all behind for that one, bro. I'm on all y'all neck for that one.
Oh no, they wasn't stopping Brown from getting that fourth ring by any means necessary. And it's crazy because that's probably gonna end up like there's a great chance that ends up being his last ring, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like arguably either number one or number two greatest player of all time, and his last ring is like when people pull up the highlights. That's another thing that's gonna be fascinating now is because we're gonna blink and another 5-10 years are gonna go by, and then we're gonna start having the same way they teach kids about like 9/11 in school now. They're gonna be teaching kids about COVID in school in like 2030 going forward. It's kind of that's so wild to think about. Like,
Now, you know what I was thinking about today was
well,
that like I was watching this video. Naomi Osaka went behind the scenes with Uninterrupted to an off day with Naomi Osaka, 24 hours with Naomi Osaka in Tokyo. And like one of the dudes at the restaurants, he can only speak Spanish, Japanese. So he's speaking Japanese, she's speaking Japanese back to him. And the thing that popped into my black head is okore, okonu, otani wasa. And then, and I thought, like, you know how kids like our age, like we learn how to spell bananas, like from Gwen Stefani. Like kids this age, they're gonna grow up and they're gonna be like, we learned Japanese from Megan Thee Stallion.
What does
that's
that mean?
great. My bad, bro. I ain't make sure.
What is akadu akoni otana wasa? What does that mean?
Yeah.
I get money, I'm a star. Star. That's what that mean? Right? I get money, I'm a star. Star.
I have no clue.
Is that the song she has with the
Are you really asking what song that is? Like it can only be one song, Jelani.
I'm not a super big Meg Thee Stallion. I know Meg Thee Stallion is big enough that like I know who she is, and I know some of her songs that like break through. Like
that was one of those songs, bro.
That was the one with the,
Otalewasa.
but it was with the Asian rapper, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. I don't know his country. Okay, okay. That's the one that they was doing on TikTok.
Japanese
okay.
woman breaking down lyrics to Mamusa.
I low-key feel like
Hello
I learned how
guys,
to
this is
spell the
Aya.
word
Today
independent.
I'm going to react and explain the
What was that,
viral song.
Jelani?
Let me explain the title, right?
Oh.
So Mamushi, and this is the note that holding she is like so I'm the star. Megan said.
Get money, I'm a star.
She's okay. We don't need the breakdown of the English language. Well, yeah.
No, I was saying, I feel like I learned how to spell the word independent from Webby.
Come on now.
Oh, for sure.
What does this mean? This is English cognate and Japanese translates to star. Megan is pronounced star Megin. The word is pronounced throughout the song. And Megan says she's a star in Japanese. So yeah. I get money, I'm a star. Star. That's what she's saying.
Go to the bottom part.
Okay, hold on. Oko ne akano. Atare wa sa. Okay na akado. Okay kasa unane wa sta. Means in Japanese, we make money, we are stars. Told you. That's what it means.
Okay, I mean, I was just curious. I didn't know. Because you saying kids gonna be like, I learned Japanese from Meg Thee Stallion, they ain't learn nothing.
Okay, then. I'm cute and I have a nice body. Look at the lyricist Megan Thee Stallion. He know who I am. Ain't had to say my name. Stack it up like Tetris. Hold on. I lost my spot. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Stack it up like Tetris, but this money ain't a game. I'm cute and have a nice body. Drink it, Watisi Kawi Karara. Drinking out the bottle, getting twisted, Maracan. Big exotic Hermes. This a croc? Watch too expensive. Ain't no way I'm getting clocked. I think I'm so sexy every time okay, all right. I know those parts. All right. So yeah. Lyricist, Meg Thee Stallion, man. Okay, they
Bilingual queen.
Yeah, it's stuck in my head now. But yeah, that is crazy. Thinking about that. Yeah, we definitely look through history. I don't think kids are gonna like it'll be like us, right? When we grew up and we found out like Ronald Reagan was an actor and he was in like movies or whatever before he was a president. Like, I don't think kids are going to kind of grasp the concept that Donald Trump was a celebrity before he ever ran for president. And that's why it's such a big deal, because he's not a politician, but he's a celebrity that happened to actually win the presidency. He's the first celebrity to win. Well, obviously, y'all know that. Y'all my age. But I don't think kids are going to understand why Donald Trump is such a big deal. They'll just think he's an evil man that was president.
Or I really used to. Like we didn't have cable, so I used to watch The Apprentice when I was a kid. Like it's kind of saying that that's the command. Not only did he win, he won 2 different terms, not consecutively. like he won. You know what I'm saying? Like it is kind of crazy to think about.
I think he liked it that way too.
Yeah, low key.
Because it stretched it out longer, bro. It felt like Trump was still like around than the president and a voice when Biden was in office. So it's like he stretched it out to like 12 years. You know, the fact that Mac Miller and Kobe Bryant and Nipsey Hussle are like all on public record dissing Donald Trump as the president of the United States. All those guys have been dead like for 10 years, and Donald Trump's still the president of the United States.
That's certainly one way to put it right there. It's kind of morbid, but no, I get what you're saying. Though I think about that. I did think about that with Mac Miller like that, because he had that I think it was on a not Today Show, the what's the show with Jon Stewart, The Daily Show, I think he did, or it was either Daily Show or the Stephen Colbert Show back then, but he did like a whole segment. It was like 2016 when Trump was either 2016 or 2017 after he had won, but he did a segment that it went viral back then where he was anti-Trump, just going in on him or whatever. But yeah, Trump, yeah, this has been a man, these last 10 years has just been, it just feels, I just feel like the Obama era, everything just felt kind of different. And obviously there was bad things still happening when Obama was president, but I think there was like a certain level of optimism for the future, and maybe because we were still teenagers at the time. But I feel like the world in general is like, I don't think there's a lot of people optimistic for the future of the world right now. I think everybody's kind of locked in, like on their day-to-day, trying to take care of what they got to take care of in the near future. But I don't feel like people are really optimistic for like 20, 30, 40 years from now as far as what it's going to look like.
Yeah, it's it hasn't been looking too good lately. Just to be honest, especially with the way like economics been looking, the way the world has been looking, like war wise. You know, it's, man, that whole situation with Israel and Iran, you know, I ain't gonna hold you. I really thought they were about to drop a nuke one of them days, like about a month ago, because when Iran had tweeted out, yeah, we got something like the world is going to remember tonight, you know.
But Iran been pump faking for 30 years though. Like, but the thing is with them Middle Eastern folks, I ain't trying to call they bluff. If you say it, we gonna believe you. But like Iran been pump faking for 30 years. So it's like at some point, it's like, all right, bro. But I feel like as soon as you do that, that's when them jokers gonna come with that Middle East. Hey, not to be racist, but that's when they gonna come out with that boom.
They gonna come with that Middle East what?
Boom.
Nah, facts. Yeah, that's why, you know, Trump did what he had to do by, you know, destroying one of their nuclear sites. You know, try to delay whatever you can, but you know, it's all, you know, the thing is with the nuclear war though, it is, you know, it's actually, side note, crazy. If you look on YouTube, there's been so many times we've been like literally like human error away from nuclear war, and it's like it's whole YouTube videos like that describes each time that it happened. Like one time, this one guy was one time it was something that was on the radar, I think in like Russia, and they had saw something on the radar, and it looked like it was like a missile, like a nuke coming their way. So because of that, because of that, like, you know, they were ready to go ahead and just fire it back off. And so they're about to fire it off. But then like somebody was like, just wait 1 second. Like, let's really analyze it and, you know, take a second look. And turns out it was just like a little blimp, something that was just like, I can't exactly tell you what it was, but it was something that they realized like, oh, okay, it wasn't a missile. And type in human error, like human error, you know, like
I had heard that story before, but the thing that I think the craziest part about it was that I forget exactly how much time it was, but he only had like a couple minutes. It was like make or break decision of either start this nuclear war or they either had the option to start the war or, you know, fall back and relax. So yeah, we definitely like all almost died. Well, I don't even know if we were alive when this happened. I think this was like back in the day, but
yeah.
It was supposed to be a simple test, nothing more than a routine safety procedure. But in just 4.5 seconds, one irreversible decision created the most catastrophic nuclear disaster in human history. Not because of science, not because of sabotage, but because of something far more dangerous, human error. This is the story of the night the sky turned blue. The story of lies, obedience, and unimaginable consequences. The story of Chernobyl, where one button changed the world forever. Chernobyl wasn't a city, not really.
There's a video called
the name referred to a
Every Time Nuclear World War III Almost Happened. It got like 1 million views. Yeah.
Suez Crisis coincidences. British and French forces were attacking Egypt at the Suez Canal, and the Soviet government told the US that they should have teamed up in a military operation to stop this. The Soviets also warned the British and French governments that they were considering non-nuclear rocket attacks on London and Paris if they didn't stop. That night, the North American Aerospace Defense Command received multiple messages showing that unidentified aircraft were flying over Turkey. 100 Soviet fighter planes were over Syria. A British bomber had been shot down over Syria, and that the Soviet fleet was moving through the Dardanelles. A passage that goes from Turkey to Europe. At that point, U.S. forces believed these events could trigger a NATO nuclear strike against the Soviet Union. But luckily, nothing happened, because it was later revealed that the unidentified aircraft over Turkey were actually just a wedge of swans. The 100 Soviet fighter planes over Syria were just a routine Air Force escort for the president of Syria, who was returning from a visit to Moscow. The British bomber went down due to mechanical problems, and that the movement through the Dardanelles was a scheduled routine exercise. Greenland's moonrise. The U.S. early warning radar at Thule in Greenland reported to the North American Aerospace Defense Command headquarters in Colorado Springs that they saw dozens of Soviet missiles launched against the United States. The NORAD went into maximum alert, but one factor raised some questions. The Soviet leader, Nikita Khrushchev, was in New York at the time, so it wouldn't have made much sense for the Soviets to attack at that time. This probably saved the world, and it was later discovered that the radar was actually fooled by the moonrise over Norway, with computers misinterpreting this as an all-out attack on the U.S. Goldsboro B-52 crash. An American B-52 Stratofortress carrying 2 Mark 39 nuclear bombs broke up in mid-air near Goldsboro, a city in North Carolina, dropping the nukes too. The first bomb's parachute failed, and the bomb broke apart on impact, while the second one suffered little damage on impact, but 5 of the bomb's 6 safety devices failed during the crash. A later expert evaluation reported that one simple dynamo technology low-voltage switch stood between the United States and a major catastrophe: Omaha's lost connections. The Strategic Air Command's headquarters in Omaha lost contact with the early warning radar in Thule in Greenland, and when they tried to call NORAD headquarters in Colorado to find out what the problem was, the line was dead. Now, it's important to state that the likelihood of communication problems with both locations at the same time was really low, and that the Strategic Air Command was responsible for USA's nuclear weapons like strategic bombers and intercontinental ballistic missiles. At this point, the Strategic Air Command thought that an attack was happening, so their entire alert force was ordered to prepare for takeoff. Fortunately, a U.S. bomber was circling over Thule and made contact with the early warning radar in Thule. The alert was called off. U-2 flights into Soviet airspace. American Lockheed U-2 reconnaissance planes occasionally and unintentionally strayed from Alaska into Soviet airspace. But one time, that happened during the Cuban Missile Crisis in October of 1962. The U-2 pilots were ordered not to fly within 100 miles of Soviet airspace just to be sure. But for some other reason, a U-2 pilot was ordered to fly another route over the North Pole. The Aurora prevented proper navigation, and the plane accidentally strayed over the Chukotsky Peninsula, which was Soviet airspace. So Soviet MiG interceptors took off with orders to shoot down the American U-2. The pilot contacted his U.S. command post, and he was ordered to fly back towards Alaska, but he ran out of fuel while he was still in Soviet airspace, so U.S. F-102A fighters were launched to escort him on his glide to Alaska, with orders to prevent the Soviet MiGs from entering U.S. airspace. But the scary part comes now. The U.S. interceptor aircraft were armed with nuclear missiles, and they could have used them at their own discretion. Luckily, none of the pilots decided to use them. The Bears incident. It was around midnight, and the world was in the middle of the Cuban Missile Crisis, when a guard at the Duluth Sector Direction Center saw an unidentified figure climbing the security fence. At that time, United States military planners expected that sabotage operations might precede any nuclear first strike by the Soviet Union. The guard shot at the anonymous figure and automatically activated the sabotage alarm, which automatically set off sabotage alarms at all bases in the area. This led to a big problem, because at Volk Field in Wisconsin, the alarm was wrongly wired and the klaxon sounded, which ordered nuclear-armed F-106A interceptors to take off. The pilots themselves were previously informed that there would be no practice alert drills while they were in DEFCON 3, so they actually thought World War III had started and that they needed to use their nukes. When they noticed that there was an error, aircraft were already starting down the runway, so an officer in a car raced from the command center and successfully signaled the aircraft to stop before they took off, which would have caused World War III to start for real. The unidentified figure was a bear. B-59 and Cuban Missile Crisis. 2 days after the Bears incident, a Soviet...
Now I see why they were so stressed about nuclear war back in the 60s, bro. Because it's like, it could have happened on the most craziest of whims. All this stuff is like 61, 62. Imagine being in that police car, that policeman having to drive to stop a nuclear war, bro. I would have been stressed.
And then it's crazy because back then, like the methods of communication was way slower, like way less advanced than they are now. So if somebody made a mistake, it wasn't like they couldn't communicate as fast, now. Back then as they could now.
Yeah, I'm definitely glad they've updated, man. Have y'all seen the last Mission Impossible?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've never seen a Mission Impossible movie. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, me neither. I saw the last one just cause, and it was mad long, like 3-something hours. I fell asleep, woke up, still saw like another hour. But
Bro, what's the longest movie that y'all seen in theaters or that you could recall?
In theaters, probably like Endgame or something.
That makes sense. I think Endgame was like 3 hours, right? Or something like that.
Something like that. I'm not exactly sure. It was yeah, I think it's about 3 hours though.
I don't know if y'all remember they made the King Kong movie with Jack Black in it. Bro, we saw that in theaters, dog. I might have been like 12 at the time, 11, bro. I was not prepared for that, dog. I'm sitting here thinking we just going to the movies real quick, like we're gonna come home, dog. We got in that theater like 7:00. we got out, it was dark out, bro. And that's not even the type of movie. That ain't even the type of movie that needs to be 3 hours like that. I feel like directors sometimes they do a little bit too much. Like they don't know when to hold back sometimes.
No, facts. What was the long movie you went to see in theater, Rashad?
I do not know. I would was one of the Fast and Furious movies or one of those like a long movie or anything like that, like Fast 5?
Man, I stopped watching. I definitely haven't been to the theaters to see Fast and Furious since probably the one with Bow Wow.
Oh wow, that was a minute ago.
That's
I
crazy.
seen Fast 5. So that was the last one, right?
No, they're on like Fast 10. They're like Fast. They're on like
10. No, I seen the one after Paul See You Again.
That one was that 5 or 7? I could be wrong.
I think that was 7.
So they released 3 after that?
Yeah, bro. They're on like number 10. I think they ended at 10.
Okay. I might have seen 10. But I was like, yeah, I'm fed up with that franchise, bro.
Okay, what was not the longest? What was the worst movie that you ever saw in theaters? Because I know mine off top.
Go ahead,
bro. Do you remember they did a remake? It was called Holmes and Watson. They did it with Will Ferrell. It was a Sherlock Holmes movie. This was like 2019.
Yeah,
uneasily. Like I'm talking about within the first 10 minutes of watching this movie, I was like, oh no, I'm going to sleep. Like I'm not. Like I've never went to sleep in theaters, on purpose before that. But that's how bad the first 15 minutes of that movie, and the reviews were terrible. So it wasn't like I missed anything, from falling asleep in that movie.
Mine for probably the Pokemon movie. I went to go see that in the AMC over there by Lenox in Phipps Plaza. And this is when, the weed vapes had just came out. I don't use the weed vapes now because I just feel like they're like, I don't smoke weed at all right now. But like I stopped using them like years ago because I don't know, you got iffy about what was in there. I started hearing there's like
fiberglass and shit like that.
Yeah, motor oil and crazy stuff in there. I was like, I'll just stick to the flower. But yeah, I had my little weed vape in there. But I went by myself. I was just sitting there cooling. And yeah, and I was just like, man. And I think it had potential to be a good movie, but it did not. It just wasn't it at all. It was just a dumb concept. Yeah, it was just a dumb movie, honestly. But yeah, that was probably the worst movie that I went to actually see in theaters that I can remember.
I didn't even think I remembered that they had made it was like a live action, like it was like 3D.
I didn't see the 3D. I might have been 3D. I didn't watch it in 3D, but it was live action though.
I didn't mean like or CGI. That's what I meant to say. Like it was like a lot. They kind of mixed it. It wasn't like cartoon like the first Pokemon movie.
Nah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Random, man. I'll tell you one movie that I'll never forget seeing in theaters. So I went with my ex to go see Moonlight, bro. But this is before it got big. This was like probably like maybe like a week after it came out. So, you know, it didn't win no awards and stuff yet. It wasn't like, you know, people knew about it, but it wasn't like super acclaimed just yet, you know? So I had no clue what I was going to go see. Like, she was just like, hey, I want to go watch this movie. I was like, all right. And I see the cover. I'm like, okay, it's a black movie. Cool. It's lit. You know, I'm like, whatever. You know, I ain't do no research beforehand. I'm gonna just check it out. Boy, I was in for a surprise. I didn't. Shoo. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. It was definitely some scenes in there that
He said, I ain't know I came to watch Brokeback Mountain.
Bruh. Like, for real though, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, have y'all seen the movie?
No.
I've never seen it. I just know that there's certain scenes where
I've heard enough about
some things happen.
Yeah. I honestly, and you know, it's crazy because if it wasn't for that, I probably would not have ever seen it before. But it is a really good movie. I'm not gonna lie. It was a very good movie. It was just like certain scenes in there, like it's a scene with him and another dude on the beach back like during his teenage years, and I was like, I legit like had to just turn away from the screen. I was like. And I remember just sitting there thinking the whole time, like, what the hell does this girl got me watching right now? Like, what the? And then like I see months later it ends up winning movie of the year. I was like, oh, okay. Like, but it was a good movie though. So, you know, anybody who hasn't seen it, I would recommend y'all seeing it. It's just there's going to be a couple scenes in there that you might want to, you probably gonna have to look away or you're gonna feel a little uncomfortable. At least I did, you know. I don't know how y'all feel about seeing certain scenes, but overall, great movie though. Great movie. But yeah, seeing that for the first time with not knowing what you were going to go see, boy, I was like, what the hell?
I'll say my most uncomfortable movie theater experience was Ali. I was like 6 or 7 when that came out. We saw a advanced screening of it in South Carolina because we saw it during Thanksgiving break when we was up in South Carolina with family. And yeah, like it felt like there was like 3-4 sex scenes in the movie. I don't know how many sex scenes was in the movie, but it was a few. Every single time, you know, I had to cover my eyes, turn my head to the chair, you know, put my head down, all that stuff and all that. So it was pretty annoying to have to do that over and over and over again. So that was probably my most uncomfortable movie theater experience. And then the worst movie I've ever seen in a movie theater was Surviving Lake Lanier. This is Andrew McCautry's movie on like Lake Lanier. The worst, bro. Acting, no type of consistency. It was just bad, bro. Bad movie. And then the second one, you know, shouts out to Robbie World, everything like that. But them boys, them YouTube, like them social media folks, like they get together and they start making movies for Tubi. And then they're like, oh yeah, we made this in 2 days. Like it's no script, it's all improv. You can tell. And like, so them movies too. But I say Surviving Lake Lanier definitely takes the cake. That's the worst movie I've ever seen in a movie theater. Shouts out to Angel McCautry though, for sure.
Wait, she plays on a, or she used to play on a Dream, or is she still playing on a Dream?
Yeah, on a Dream, yeah. Real Atlanta legend.
So wait, so she produced, obviously she didn't direct the movie, but she's a producer on the movie?
Yeah, I think so. And then she has a cameo in it too.
See, that's a dangerous game. I feel like a lot of celebrities get caught up in where they'll attach their name to like a certain movie or something, just for like, if you like, especially now in this era, like if you check credits, a lot of these movies, it'll be like a random certain movies like LeBron produces or certain movies Steph Curry produces, but it's like you trust in his director. But you trust in his director to like keep your name good, basically.
You know, LeBron has that production company that made him a billionaire. Springkill, shouts out to Springkill. You know, they produced Space Jam 2, House Party, train wreck, and I guess now this Steph Curry like, but that production. Shout out Spring Hill been doing it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I do want to say, did you guys see Anthony Edwards producing an album with like Wale and Pusha T?
So is this gonna be like?
I have no clue, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I saw it and I was so confused. I was like, is Anthony Edwards hosting the mixtape? Is he like, yo, this Ant-Man? Is it like a LeBron 2 Chainz situation, a Kawhi Rod Wave situation? Like I have no clue. Like it just confused me when I saw it.
Oh yeah, Kawhi did drop an album
with Rod Wave.
But I don't think it was just Rod Wave though. I could be. I think Kawhi dropped like a compilation. Yeah.
I remember that. Let me see. Anthony
I feel like
Edwards.
Eric got good. I feel like he got good taste in music. I could see. Just the fact that he's. I think Ant's like 24, 25. The fact that he's around that age and he likes Wale enough to throw him on a song, I just respect that right there. So Off the Culture Jam compilation album title. Yeah, that's who Kawhi I think did his album with too.
Okay.
Yeah. Legend in My Hood. I feel like he gonna have some heat on there.
Shouts out to Don Cannon, man. Shouts out to DJ Drama, Generation Now. You know what I mean? Gangsta Grills.
Yeah. That's fascinating.
Don Cannon hosted Church Clothes, Lecrae Church Clothes. I always remember that.
I wonder how many which Atlanta rappers are gonna be on there. If he does have any Atlanta rappers on there. Well, I mean, he's gonna have some Atlanta rappers.
Well, his brother is definitely on there.
His brother's a rapper?
Yeah, Be Different.
Okay.
Curated by Anthony Edwards and his brother Be Different. Like some people are saying he thinks he's doing this whole thing just to like plug his brother.
He should.
Because I remember he had when he did the release of his last Adidas shoe, the AE1s, they did a whole like, I don't know if it was like Anthony Edwards Day, but they did a whole thing on the West Side, and he had his brother perform after Lil Baby performed.
I miss the days when rappers had record labels and none of them worked.
You mean like Concrete?
Whose label was that? You said like Concrete. Oh yeah, no, yeah, that didn't. Concrete worked out for a second. You know what I mean? They had like a little before Carol left. Yeah, like
they messed up the star. She was holding it together. People was paying attention to Concrete. Now Concrete, they trying to drop the volume 2, but people ain't checking for them no more, bro.
Man, they need to get out of rest, bro.
People ain't checking it no more.
Just call it quits.
Who has a good record label? It's some folks, Gotti.
No, I mean I'm speaking about athletes. There used to be a time when like
you say
like
Carl Crawford.
Carl Crawford is the only one I could think of that had a successful, and it's not even a label. It's just he signed Meg.
Yeah, Meg.
it wasn't even a whole label. It was just her.
Well, Erica Banks had Busted, so
come on, man.
Yeah, but no, we can't act like in 2020 Busted won on hit in 2020.
No, the trend was a hit. The song itself was not a hit.
Well, if you played it and we weren't in clubs in 2020, but it say it was 2020, we outside. Busted. But the club going, hey.
But it would just be for that 10 seconds. Nobody else knew else.
They did that to Steve Lacy on Bad Habit. Did that mean Bad Habit ain't a hit?
I mean, I get what you. I feel like more of his song. I get what you're saying. When I think of Bust, I remember Chloe Bailey dropped hers, and that just like I felt my blood pressure rise first time I saw that. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah. I mean to cut you. I thought you were going to say something.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, the first time I heard that Steve Lacy song, what's I Wish I Knew.
Bad Habit.
Yeah, Bro, the first time I heard that was actually at I guess kind of a club. You ever heard of Reverie?
Yeah, I think it got shut down. I could be wrong. I don't know if it's still open.
So they just redid it, like changed the name. It's still technically there, like the venue is there, but they changed the name and it's just not the same. But yeah, that I actually heard that song there for the first time, and I remember hearing it and then seeing everybody in there sing the song, and I was like, "What is this?" You know, and especially like that type of song is not a song that you expect to hear out in general anyway. And yeah, and just seeing everybody sing it, I was like, what the heck? I had to go home and like peep it. But you know, okay, just another side rant. That's a good thing. I mean, that's the thing that I hate about a lot of these spots that really be dope, where they have like the underground, not underground, but just like different type of music played. And that was like one of those places, like Reverie, one of those places. There's not too many places like that. Like all the places now from where I've been, like I haven't been outside as much like over the past year for real, but from a lot of the places that I've seen, that I've been to, they don't be playing nothing that like none of those kind of tracks. Like I remember going to the department store, and you know, you hear so much about like that era of time. And I remember hearing old Kanye, like not not Donda, but you know, but you know, hearing stuff off of College Dropout being played, but not like the hits, you know, the really like the deep cuts and stuff being played. And as I said, going to Reverie, which was probably about at this point about like three years ago, I probably went there, and you know, listening to hearing songs like, you know, Bad Habits and stuff like that, or they're playing what's Buddy that just dropped? We listened to his tape on the drive. Rashad.
Suave?
Nah. Pierre.
Oh, Pierre.
Yeah, they're playing a couple Pierre songs. And it was a couple songs that I never heard before. Cause I never really listened to Pierre like that. But it's like stuff like that. I hate that those places always end up getting shut down, or you know, the venues still be there a lot of times, but they just end up switching over, and I don't know what be going on, but those always be the places where I felt like I've had the most fun. And
they I'm sorry for cutting you off, Mo. They shut down MJQ, didn't they?
They moved it to the underground.
Okay.
Yes, it's popping down there though.
Yeah, well, they moved down there everything from Ponce City Market, the Murder Kroger. They rebranded Murder Kroger, put some lipstick on it, so people stopped calling it Murder Kroger. And then they moved the Masquerade over to the underground. Then now they moved MJQ over to the underground. So I mean, I guess but underground popping again for sure. Shouts out to underground, getting back popping.
Jelani, you been to the new MJQ?
Bro, we got there. We was waiting in line for like 30 minutes, and we was like, bro, we just gonna go to Waffle House. Like, I do plan on, I think one of these nights I'm gonna try to, because they give like on the Twitter account, they be having like the early passes.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to get one of them early passes. And but if I don't, I'm gonna go there probably. I think I'll probably go there next month for sure. Because I wanted to go. It was just that line that night was so crazy.
Let me know when you go.
All right, for sure.
I wanted to say this though about what Mo was saying. I think honestly, DJs these days are just a large part. They're scared, bro, because you play some underground stuff, you try to play some new stuff, some different stuff to put people on, and it's a whole demographic of people. Like it's a whole group of people who don't want to hear nothing that they don't know. And the second they hear some stuff they don't know, man, what you playing, bro? You playing BS, no. And then you play the same playlist everybody else play, just so they could dance. Oh, now we talking. Now the DJ going off. No, he just playing songs you know. And like, it's like, I feel like with the same time, the DJs got to be on it. Because I seen some dope DJs every now and again. Like, I seen a DJ. It was like Cam the Artisan. He had a thing right in Atlanta where he did a live podcast interview, and then the DJ played some music for the rest of the time after his interview. And so the DJ is playing like Slum Village, the Selfish, the joint with Kanye. That's old Kanye, you know what I mean? And then he was playing, he was playing stuff like that and mixing it in with the new stuff and playing like Chance the Rapper, like things like that. I remember one event, it was Trey Young's shoe release, and he was playing Amine, and I was like, oh snap, like, and it was a Amine song with that he had with Young Thug that J. Cole flipped, with the pride is the devil. Think you got a hold on, Amine originally had that beat, and that song he has Young Thug on it, and so he played that. I was like, oh snap, I ain't never heard of me outside of Killer West Side, and then the Reel It In. Them the only two Amine songs I ever heard outside. So when I heard that, I was like, oh snap, that's crazy. And Layla's DJ was good, but other than that, like, I haven't heard as frequent, like you said, as it used to be. It used to be everywhere I go, I hear some new stuff that I never heard before, some underground stuff. And but nowadays it just be the same playlist, bro. Like, they just play it safe. But I think it's because the crowd, like, and as a DJ, I feel like you kind of working for the crowd.
Yeah, I think it's a mix of the DJ, but I think just a lot of the venues where it's more accepted are shutting down. Because I don't know, I follow this one page called I think it's like Velvet Room, Velvet Residency, something like that, on Instagram. And it's where people, like, it's a couple different people, but they interview like people that live in Atlanta and ask them questions about, like, where's the best spots to go get food? Where's the best spots to go on a date? Where, tell us some spots, that you miss, stuff like that. And it always be crazy because I be listening to them, and it always seemed like the spots that people be like, man, this was like the best spot. And they got shut down. And I don't know why a lot of these places get shut down. I know department store got shut down because I think they couldn't pay their rent, which is crazy, because that place was popping. But, I don't know about a lot of these other places. And I think back on it, I'll be like, man, I've had so much fun at a lot of these places, and I just don't get what be happening, And then, but then you got places like Opium that's still around, like Opium is cool. It's cool, but I don't know. I hate that.
Opium confused me because I thought they shut it down when the owner died, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just reopened it.
Yeah, and I think they changed locations. Yeah, because I think it's now where it's a club. I may be completely wrong, because I never went to Mansion Elon, but I want to say it's around that area. Actually, nah, I don't. I might be. I don't know. Only been to Opium once though, and it was for the afters one time. But that, yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that, it'd be cool. And there's so many places that just like that in the city that be like, it's cool, but it just don't really be the same. I went to this one little thing, man, probably, oh my gosh, bro. I went to this darn Unction, bro. Not Function, or Unction, bro. It was crazy. It was called How Parties Used to Be. And I don't know why. Like, in my mind, I was thinking, okay, they're going to be playing. I saw that they're going to be playing like 90s, 2000 music. I was like, okay, whatever, I didn't really want to listen to that music, but I was like, but they promoted it as, you got to be dancing. It ain't going to be no hookah. It ain't going to be no sections. You just gotta be in the vibe. So I was like, that sounds fun, man. I ain't been no function where ain't been no hookah and no sections in so long, man. Everybody in there was about 35 plus, bro. And it was just not for me. I went with my homeboy, and his girl is like 37, 38, something like that. So Oh my gosh, they had the best time, bro. They was they was in it. But yeah, for me, it was trash. And it was just a realization. They had a point where they was like, where are the people born in the 80s at? Bro, it was so loud. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, this is too loud for me. This ain't it. But yeah, man. I realized I'm not going to no more throwback functions for another 5 years. Cause I think back on time, like when I hear stuff like that, those throwback functions, what I do think about those times where they didn't have all that stuff. But the realization is that was just the very beginning of when I started going out, like 18, 19, house parties, teen clubs, like stuff like that, where they didn't have like the sections in the hookah for real. But the realization is the people who really miss that is the people that are 35 plus, because that's when they were really outside. Anybody that's younger than 30, you don't know the club without sections and hookah. So why would you'll be like, why would I want to go to that? That doesn't even sound fun. It's just like, honestly, especially the no hookah. Like people gonna be like, what? No hookah? They trying to have hookah at Nobu. So, you think they ain't trying to have it at the club? So
yeah, I really want to throw I was thinking about this last year. Like because I was so disgusted with 404 Day this year. I really want to throw, like, if not then, like at some point next year, I definitely want to throw a party, like rent out a venue, hire a DJ, just go from there. Like I feel like a lot of these spots, they overcomplicate what it is that people want when they go out. Like they think it's all about the lights and it's just like, bro, people just want somewhere they can just go and just doesn't have a dress code. They can just not a crazy fee to get in, like regular price drinks. Like you have certain people where they want like the certain spots where it's just we all standing around in the sections, like the baddies is taking the pictures. Like some people enjoy that version of nightlife, but most people are not trying to go through all that, bro. Most people are not trying to pay crazy parking or have to pay to skip the line. And then it's just, I don't know. We need more just regular parties for regular people. I feel like that's a big part, especially in Atlanta. Like it's just become too much of, it's like everybody wants to be like their own version of like Copper Cove or something like that, or something along those lines, or like that type of spot, or like Opium. We were just talking about like those type of clubs or whatever. This is not really for me. I like actual parties where like people like dance and sweat and move around.
Yeah, but that's hard to find these days.
It is.
You got back to this album.
I knew that segue was coming. I felt it.
Because it was like we were talking about the album and then we got all the way off. And then when Mo started talking about dancing at parties, I was like, oh, okay, this is the perfect way to get back on the album. I don't like the certain pretentiousness that I feel like a particular demographic has gotten into. And I think Tyler falls under that a lot lately, ever since he kind of turned 32, 33. He's going to this, I don't think we should do this. We don't need to do this. This is stupid. Why do we do it like that? We should do this. And that's fine. He's just stating his opinion. He's just very kind of sure about it. But saying that, because the first night that he did the Don't Tap the Glass listening party, and it was come here to dance, they took everybody's phones. And I just don't agree with the belief that if you take everybody's phones, people are going to dance. Because he showed a video of it, right, on his Twitter. And it's someone used a video to record this and you posting it using your phone. So phones aren't that evil. Without phones, you wouldn't have had this moment documented in time. And in the video, everybody ain't dancing. So it's what are you talking about? I don't know. I just feel like it's on the people more so than it is the technology. I think a lot of people you know, they say they don't do it because of the camera phones and stuff like that, but they program themselves to be so perceived and everything like that. And it's true, like, yeah, people are always recording and stuff like that, but like, you gotta have fun regardless, because you're not gonna see these people again, and the chances of it going viral are low. And even if it goes viral, it's gonna be another viral post responding to that saying, "This is why people don't want to dance anymore, because you guys keep recording stuff." So it's like, I think people need to be more realistic about like, what are the consequences if I just bust out and start dancing right now in public? People ain't gonna care as much as I think people think they're gonna care. So that was my thing to Tyler. And then it's like, I'll record everything because, you know, I put a lot of the stuff on my channel online and everything. Like, I make content. So what I'm usually doing, I'm recording, and you know what I'm saying? And I put my phone down and I get back. I'm moving in that piece and I'm singing and everything like that more than anybody else in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, most see me kind of like in the new way that I do things, where I record, you know, half the show and then dance and sing the other half of the show. So I have fun, man. I have fun. I get my fun in and everything like that. So I don't think taking away phones is the answer for it.
I mean, I get what you're saying about you don't think it's going to be as viral as people think it is, but then you never know. Because I think also with, you know, I just say, because, you know, you think about like the CEO dude, and who would have thought that moment would, when I woke up that morning and saw that, I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. You know, I didn't really think much of it. And it has now overtaken my timeline for the last, what has it been, week now? You know? And so, you know, I saw this one tweet that was like, or meme. It said, every day there's a new main character on social media. The goal is to not be it, you know? So I think it's always those moments where you don't really know what's going to happen. And maybe you start dancing, and then, you know, next thing you know, like, you're the only one dancing, and now you're a viral meme of, you know, or maybe you hit a move that's a little crazy because you were just feeling it. And then next thing you know, it's a meme of you just, you know, doing something stupid, you know? So, like, but I get what you're saying, though. I do feel people need to just be more carefree about it, but it's hard to be carefree these days with the fact that there's these things that's lurking right around the corner. The moments that are lurking right around the corner where you never know what could possibly happen next. But I mean, but as I said, I agree. I definitely feel. I don't know. I just think we're probably at the point where, I don't know, people are getting too accustomed to not really.
Ain't nobody dancing. No phones. The only person dancing is Tyler, the Creator. Look at this.
It was a couple people in there.
Okay. Tyler dancing. The white people just looking at Tyler. Oh, Tyler's dancing. Oh, they dancing right here.
Yeah, it's a couple.
But look, they not dancing.
That look like security.
But I feel like even in the era when people didn't have, or I guess for us it would be like phones wasn't as advanced. Like, I still think you still had like 2 or 3 dudes that would be in the party playing the wall. It just wouldn't be that many compared to now.
Facts.
I also think people. My bad, bro.
No, I was just going to say, to finish my point, I think people are just so accustomed, even if you do take away the phone, we're now at the point of, you know, this is how I move in the club for so long now, you know? So it's kind of like, now it's an uncomfortable feeling to really be stepping out like that these days.
What do you do in a strip club?
Throw money?
If you're not throwing money, what do you do?
Order some food or get a drink or something. You can't just be standing there.
But you can't.
Yeah. I'm like, either you eating or you throwing money. But
you gotta do something.
Man, Jamaica, then man, like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
No, going to the strip club to dance is now that is insane. That is
So what
absolutely.
you do? So you have to like, because I say this because I was talking about someone, my mentor, he asked me about magic one time, like probably like last week or whatever, and I think he might have been talking about Jermaine Dupri saying, you know, the thing of like I spent $10,000 every Monday at Magic for 20 years. When I went with Magic, it was with JD, and like that's the first time and the only time I've been in the club where they didn't pat me down, they didn't ask for my ID. Like JD was just like this, and there's like 20 of us in line. They just let us all go. I was like, bro, what? This is crazy. But like, yeah, in there, I didn't have no money. I wasn't about to get no money to throw it from the ATM. Like, because I'm kind of being perceived, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still working. So it's like, I don't want to be like, go to the ATM, take out cash, and then, you know, do that. Like, well, I'm supposed to be working. The PR lady looking at me crazy. You know, JD might rock with me, but PR lady going to be looking at me crazy. The artist going to be looking at me crazy, things of that sort. And I'm vegetarian, so I'm not about to get. Well, they do have at Magic Kitchen. They do have the Impossible Burger.
I was about to say, I think JD vegan.
Yeah. JD vegan too. JD vegan because he had the vegan ice cream at the time. Yeah, in Walmart. So and JD, he had him a plate, and then he bought all his homies a plate, and then he was throwing money. So he really probably do be spending 10,000 every week, every Monday. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But and Lou Will was in there too, ironically, like my only time in there. Lou Will just happened to be there too. But yeah. So it's like I wasn't gonna eat a $30 plate, and I wasn't about to go to the ATM in there where they overcharge you to withdraw just to waste more money while I'm on assignment, and then they're looking at me like I'm unprofessional. So I'm standing in the section that they have for media. And after a while, like you kind of talk to all the other media people, what do I do now? And like I said, I saw one of the dancers. She was like one of my old classmates at Georgia State. And I wanted to be like, oh, snap, hey. But, you know, like, it's not really the place for that. And then people started approaching me, like, the new me from, like, prior stuff. And they're like, hey, bro, hey, man, you got to come out to this event and cover this and write about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just awkward. I didn't know what to do, man. I didn't know what to do with my hands. I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't know, like, what to look at because, you know, you can only look over here for so long. You know, you got to look over here. If you look over here, you're looking at the naked woman. Like, am I looking like a pervert if I look at the naked women who are naked right in front of me? I don't know. Strip clubs are awkward, man. To me, they're just awkward.
That's definitely an awkward ass situation right there because it's not like if you like let's say you get invited to a party, you don't know nobody, like, but you there with the person. Like after a certain point, you could kind of just like post up and just take your phone out and just pretend, you know, or just get on social media or something like that.
You seen the video of Quavo sitting next to Chris Brown at the fashion show?
Yeah.
You saw the comment this week?
They said he they say he checked every city on the weather app. That's really how, bro. I've been in that situation before too, where I was at a party and it was like, bro, I'm checking every social media app I got on my phone right now, dog. Texting everybody, because you just be in a situation. It was like, all right, I don't know nobody here. I'm trying to chop it up with people, but it's just kind of awkward. Like I kind of just got to play, you know what I mean? Just play the wall by myself a little bit.
Right.
No, that sounded awkward just from you telling that story right there.
Yeah. Strip clubs are definitely, it can be awkward if you don't have the intentions of really doing nothing in there. Yeah. Like, cause that strip club just ain't a place where you could just pull up and like the club, you go to the club and just kind of parlay. But yeah, strip club, you parlaying in there too long, bro. They gonna definitely say something. Yeah, I remember one time I was at this strip club, man, and the DJ had like I was at this table. Nobody in there was throwing money, like nobody. So, but the table that I was at, we were like towards the front. So he singled us out for not throwing money. And I was just like, bro, like, they don't even seem like the vibes right now. You know, is there was girls that you'll throw money on if you're getting a dance, but the girls on the actual polls, like literally nobody was in there throwing no money on them. And so yeah, so it was just kind of like, all right, this is awkward. But then the DJ, you know, kind of pressed the issue and ended up saying something. And I was like, all right, now this is weird. Yeah, let me go ahead and get up out of here because I'm not finna blow a bag, and it just don't seem like the vibe right now. But yeah, so it's just, yeah, if you ain't in there trying to spend the bag, they definitely gonna peep it, man. I went to a party at an apartment where they got some strippers, and the girls were bad. I ain't gonna hold you; they were bad. But it was a realization. I was like, man, I don't think strip club, like, I don't think strippers are cool, but I'm not finna pay to do nothing with you. And then I don't really just having, you know, a girl who's like pretty much naked just dancing on you, so, and you throwing money. I just wasn't really into it. I don't know. Like I like beautiful women, but I'm kind of like, man, I ain't finna be just throwing money just so you can come over here and just gyrate in front of me, you know? Like, I'm trying to, I don't know, like, I go spend this money on some, like, a girl I could meet at, like, a bar or the club, you know? And, like, kick it with her, and then, you know, we might go back to her crib or something, you know? Like,
straight to it for the same price.
I was literally just about to say you could just straight pay for it.
But so that's why I don't want to just pay for it, man. Like, because, you know, the thing is, this is how I look at it. You can pay for it and get straight to it, and now you a client. Or you can spend a few dollars and then buy a couple drinks. You get to know the girl. Now you got a little sneaky link. You feel me?
That's a lot of time.
Hey, and that's the thing. If you don't wanna spend that time, then yeah, I get it. You know, spend that money.
You're paying for the time, like Drake says.
But I mean, if I'm gonna be in this club, like if I'm at the club already anyway, you know, it's probably 12-1. What am I at this point missing out on? Like, my time ain't really being, like, everything that I needed to do that day probably already got done. You know, that's just the realization of it. You know,
sleeping.
I could be sleeping, but I mean, depending on what I got to do tomorrow, I mean, I could get some rest later. But I don't know. That's why I would rather. I don't want to consistently have to keep paying this one girl.
Yeah. That's the trap. That's the trap. Because you pay for time once and you be like, oh, that's quick. You gonna get horny again.
But still, look,
then what you gonna do? You gonna pay again and pay again and pay, and it's just like gambling. It's just like you hit once. Oh yeah. Let me one more time. You look up, you're gonna be like, dang, I spent so and so on gambling this month.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you pay for the coochie each time. That's just gonna add up, bro. When it's like, if you just invest that time up front.
You make a great case. You make a great case.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you invest that time up front. Now you got a shorty that you can link with, you know, and it could be on some, like, after you done hit the club, after you know, anytime. You feel me? Like, ain't no telling when y'all can link. So I think sometimes investing that time and just getting to know a girl just for that little bit, you ain't gotta figure out her whole life story, but just catch a vibe with her. You hit. And then now it's somebody that you can possibly hit up again on those same type of vibes, but it ain't going to be the expectation that I got to drop a bag on you, you know?
I mean, that's definitely like my preferred method, like just to naturally, you know, meet me or organically, but at the same time, like, I ain't gonna lie, at this point, it is certain times where it's just like, you know, like, I don't even want to, you just want the guarantee. Like, you don't want it to be like a possibility, like, I'm gonna go out tonight and it might happen. You just want to know for sure, like, no, this is guaranteed to happen.
I hear y'all like. Well, I hear both sides. It's just like the reality of the situation is like most say, you go out, you know what I'm saying, guarantee you go straight. Hey, we passing up, paying to play. Get right to it. You gonna want to pay again. Then it's like, dang, that money it just goes right to it. I mean,
No, that's a fact.
Unless you're going with a bunch of different women. Because if you're going with a bunch of different women, say you go to the club one time, okay, 20 to park, okay, 20 to get in, okay, 20, 30, 50 for drinks, okay, you know, and then the conversation, and then you talking the whole night, and then you taking them back, and then, you know, all that, right? You do that 5 times to get a woman, it's about the same. That's the same price as paying to play 3 different times with the same. But if you're going with the same woman one time in the club, that's way more cost efficient. So it's like, are you cool with this one and you gonna stay with this one sneaky link, or do you want an assortment of flavors? Because if you want assortment of flavors, then paying to play might be the way.
At this point, if we link 2 times and nothing happens, like it's no hard feelings, but we just it wasn't meant to be. Like I'm not. At least I ain't even saying even all the way, but at least like it got to be something, bro. It can't just be like we're not about to be like we're not about to be pen pals. You know what I'm saying? We're texting each other all day and then go out to eat and then all right, well, see you next time. Like I got friends for that. If that's what it is.
I don't do that eating stuff. I don't do that eating stuff. Like it was 2016. I went on a couple days with this girl, and this is right when the free food meme used to pop off. I got conscious and I said, oh no, I can't be saved this free food. That's the last thing I do. So then the girl hit me up. She said, yo, when we meeting up again? I said, shoot, what you on this weekend? Nothing. I said, okay, bet. I said, what about the High Museum? She said, no. I said, what about, let's just go to the park. Let's just walk, catch a vibe. Woo. She said, I'm trying to eat. I said, oh, no, this ain't that. This ain't that, man.
Yeah.
She married with the child now.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. If I recommend the High Museum and you say no, that's already this ain't gonna work.
But you got to think it was like 2016, so like we both in school. So Shawty might have just been like a very hungry college student.
True.
Still, the point remains.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Dang, I'm trying to think I like dating back in 2016, that was was about 2021.
21.
Yeah, that was I ain't gonna hold you, man. That's when I was on Tinder going crazy. Hey, man, yeah.
Hold on, Mo. You know who that girl was? The one I just told you about from Free Food or whatever.
Who?
Bro, this girl followed me on Instagram because she was friends with my ex.
Which one?
Georgia Tech.
Interesting.
And she slid in my DMs after we both deleted, all photos of each other, pretty much announcing our breakup. That's when she slid in my DMs.
Wow. That's crazy.
I always thought about that in the back of my head, but I just never acknowledged it. I just was going out with her and stuff.
But you remember when I FaceTimed you that one night with Georgia Tech's
Yo, that was a great treat, man. I appreciated that. Yeah.
Bruh, Jelani, tell me why one of my homeboys. So it was a group chat with me and like 2 of my homeboys. And so one of them sent a picture of one girl. And it was just so random because it's not like, we just always be sending like pictures of girls that we be linking with and stuff. So it was really super random. So then the other one sent the other girl's IG. So I see her IG pop up, and I'm like, what? So this is Rashad's ex former best friend. So I'm like we all used to hang out and stuff.
Like we was at her house before type hangout.
Yeah, we used to go to her house like kicking and stuff. So so he sends that into the group chat, and I'm like, and so I immediately reply. I was like, why you send her? And and he'll just Dill's like, oh, this who we with right now. So I'm like, I was like, for real? And I was like, bruh, I was like, you know who this is, right? And he was like, nah. But so because the homeboy, excuse me, so the homeboy is Taliban's brother. And so Tally and her used to
who was also there.
Yeah,
and was also at her houses back in the day.
Yeah, that's why I was like, bro, you don't know who this is? Like, how do you not remember her? And he was like, nah. But yeah, they were catching a little vibe. And I was, so randomly, he was like, yeah, I'm over, we over at their crib. And then I really don't even remember how the whole situation went down. But I know I was out doing something. And then he was like, yo, come pull up. Shorty said, come pull up. Cause and I was like, bet. So I come pull up and then I see her and it was just like, oh my God. I knew who she was already. And then he told her that I was coming. And she was just like, when she saw me, she was like, yo. I was like, yo. So it was probably 4, 5 in the morning, bro. And and then I FaceTime Rashad and was just like, yeah. And it was such a random FaceTime. I didn't think he was going to answer. But yeah, he had FaceTime him and I FaceTime Tally too. But yeah, it was just like, yo, look who I'm with. But yeah, man.
That's we said it before. Atlanta is a small place.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You low key gotta move, bro. You low key gotta at some point of adulthood, you gotta move just for the sake of, okay, if I want to find love, I'm probably gonna have to move real quick because I'm gonna run into somebody X.
Yeah.
I mean, unless everybody just in the situation just mature. Some people are just mature. They don't care. Some people say they don't care and they actually do care.
Yeah. Oh, what you gonna say, Money?
No, I was just saying more times than he just said, more times than not, the people that say that they don't care do care. They just be trying to make themselves seem nonchalant or whatever. But yeah, you gotta I be seeing I talked about this before last episode, but I really do be seeing people going to school with, or people that even if I didn't go to school with them, people that were from back in social media videos and in the comments and in pictures with other people that I don't know. I'll see it'd be a pretty girl that she'll come across my For You page, and then I scroll through her media. She's taking pictures with somebody I knew from school. It's definitely. And it's crazy because we didn't even go to school in the actual city. We lived on the outskirts, and we'd be knowing people that's involved in the city. So, yeah, it's nuts, though.
Yeah, that's really crazy, man. I feel like I always try to. I would say, luckily for the most part, most of the girls that I've dealt with, they are not in similar circles. They all kind of be on different stuff. So I haven't had that happen too many times where it's just a girl that I mess with is around where I feel like I'm finna pop out and then I'm finna see my ex somewhere, There's only one girl that I could possibly see that happening because we got mutual friends because we work together, and then just also we're both in the service industry. So the service industry is only so big for real in Atlanta. Especially with once you get to start working hiring restaurants and stuff, it's a lot of them you go from restaurant to restaurant. So a lot of you people know each other, But yeah, it was funny. That same girl, after we had stopped talking, I was at I wasn't there. This girl that I worked with was at a function and then had said something about like she works at Nobu, and then the girl was like, "Oh, you work at Nobu? Do you know this guy named try to play like she didn't remember my name, and then talking about like Mario, something like that, and then she was like Maurice, and then she was like, "Oh yeah," she was like Maurice. Oh, I love Maurice, but it's my homegirl, you know. Shorty didn't know that. And then so the girl told me that like her face just got stiff and was just like, "You know him? How do you know him?" Like blah blah. And I was like, bruh, like it was just funny. It's like, why you sitting there playing on my name, acting like you don't remember my name, and now you see it's like, oh, shorty, like, oh, I love him, like blah blah. It's like, oh, okay. And then it hit me up 2 days later. I was just like, I don't know, people be weird, man. The city is crazy.
I hate when people cap down on stuff like that. Go ahead, Jelani.
No, Mom, I was gonna say something similar. Like it'd be a lot of, I don't know, man. We in a this is like an interesting age right here. Like late. I'll be 30 in November. Y'all are already 30, but yeah, because it's weird because it's almost like you got the demographic of people that like really around our age that like they already settled down. They got the family already, and then you got the people that they got married like 19, 20, 21, but like now they getting divorced now, so they're coming back into the streets. You got that demographic. And then you got the demographic of like people like me where it's like it's no time soon. Like it's not like realistically like marriage, anything like that is happening no time soon. And everybody's just mingling like outside and then you got the people who are married but they're not really married, or like they're in relationships but not really in relationships. It's a lot going on, man. Like it's a lot, especially it's different if you live in like a small city where everybody, like we joke about everybody knowing each other in Atlanta, but it's still big enough that you could get low and meet people that you don't know and stuff like that. There's people around our age that live in cities where it's like 5,000 people. So they really don't have a choice but to be messing around with the same person that everybody has messed with like that. I'm glad I didn't grow up at least in that small of a city.
Facts.
No, for sure. And to pull back the curtain at the time we're recording this, it's after midnight on Friday. So, of course, I wanted to check out some of the stuff that was out right now. Drake has released some new singles called Which One? I'm not sure if this is one of the songs he played on Iceman, probably so. And then
with Central C.
Oh, this is the one with Central C?
Yeah, not the second Central C song, like the Central C song that he that was by itself.
Okay. Oh, the Central C by himself?
No, he played one by himself. This is the first one.
Oh, the first one.
The girl was like dancing.
One. Mine's not Tom Fontim. Mine's not that one.
Yeah.
And then I know Ruby Rose was dropping tonight. I think Alfredo is also Alfredo too. Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs. Obviously, that'll probably be the one with the longest standing power out of anything that comes out tonight. Because Alfredo number one, I still play that every now and again. I played that about 4 years, bro. But I know Ruby Rose was dropping. It's on tonight. She said it's my return to music. It's on music video. I looked it up. The music video is not out yet. But boy, did I see the cover art for this single. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a classic. One of the best songs of the year already. But she could literally just do her account. You know what account I'm talking about. She literally could just do that forever and be good. Like dudes is.
She said she was tired of it.
I don't know if she does it still or not. I mean, I think she still does it though, because I know. I think she makes it free, but then like she'll make dudes pay for like the videos and stuff like that. Yeah. I gotta imagine, because didn't she was that her that met up with one of her
Fender?
Yeah. Was that her?
Yeah. And then he said it was fake, it was scripted. And then she said, okay, I have the screenshots to prove that it was real, that you really stalked me down and stuff like that. And you can tell I'm uncomfortable in the photo we took. And like Twitter was analyzing it for like a whole week. It was a thing.
Yeah, like bro spent like 60,000 or something like that. Like,
Yeah. And he said he got all that money from hidden in crypto.
Wow.
dog, it's so like. Do you know it? We were just talking about taking women on dates. Like, you could literally just walk up to a woman and just be like, let's say you go out to a bar one night, like just one night, and you shoot your shot. Eventually, you find one that lets you take her on a date. Bruh, do you know what you could do with one girl with 60,000? Well, I ain't even talking about just bettering yourself or like spending money on you. But if you're hell bent on spending money on a woman, like, do you know what you could do with $60,000? Like, for a woman that you know.
How much it would be like the fanciest hotel? Like probably like what, 10,000 a night, 12,000 a night
for like a night.
You could have the most romantic and the fanciest of hotels one night, and that's just one date. You still got $50,000 left,
and that's if you just want to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, yeah, dog, 60,000 on. But I feel like we're gonna see more stories like that of I remember it was this old story. This might have happened in like the 2000s. It either happened in the 2000s or last decade. But it was a story of this guy who he ended up falling in love with some girl online, like getting catfished or whatever, and he's like emptying all his money, giving it to her. It became like an addiction for him to spend money on this girl, and it got to the point where he started stealing money from like people around him, like his dad, his mom, brothers, people like that, and they ended up confronting him about it, and eventually he snapped, and like I know he at least killed his mom and like his brother or somebody like that, or because they wouldn't give him no more money for that. Like, it was, I feel like cases like that we're gonna start seeing more, because there really are dudes who can't tell, like they really think that when they send these messages to, you know, Ruby Rose on OF or these other popular OF girls, they really think that they're talking to them. Like, this is some the dude that's really messing with her in real life is the guy that runs her account. Like, it ain't, you're talking to a grown man right now.
And the craziest part about Ruby Rose is that there's no nudity.
No. Now, with that being said, it's not all the way, but like it ain't like she wearing like church dresses on there. Like, it's enough that you could do your 1-2 boogie if you wanted to. Like,
But is it so? It's showing more than Instagram.
I would say Instagram, they got kind of crazy. I don't know. Instagram, maybe
is it showing more? Hold on, is it showing more than the single cover?
It's around. It's like that. It's like that.
So if I'm singing it on a single cover for free, why am I paying for the OF?
But that's the finesse, is that they sell the videos and make it seem like they'll do the trailer for the video to make it seem like you about to see something that you ain't. But when you actually buy it, it don't be. That whole thing is a finesse. Like that's a whole. They're gonna do a documentary about OnlyFans eventually too. I think so. Because it's, bro, we talked about this before. Speaking, like, we was talking about COVID earlier. Like, we done talked about that on here, where the same way dudes be having failed rap careers, it was some girls during COVID that had failed OF careers. Like, they was in the crib for a few months, 2020, and it was like, you know, this feels like a good idea to get some money. And either they didn't like the way it felt, or the clientele wasn't there, and they just deleted that media from their Twitter and kept it moving.
I know. Well, I know one girl. She had an OF before the lockdown, because you know how like it used to be kind of like considered a Patreon, where you talk about fitness tips, workout tips, whatever the case might be, something like that. So that's what she was doing on there. And then the lockdown happened, and then it became known as what it's known as today. And so, of course, she deleted her account in the middle of all of that. And but it's funny seeing like their old tweets and being like, just got a new subscriber on OnlyFans, because it was like automated tweets.
Oh yeah.
It's always funny seeing that from 2019. They're like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna do no. That was back in the day before it was known as what it is known as now. And it's just kind of funny how things can take a different meaning, and you know, just flip like that. It's always interesting to me.
Facts.
Man, yeah. Yeah, I could talk about that website all day, just because of like how, not literally all day. That sounds crazy. I sound like I sound like a whole creep right there.
Right, bro. You know, Jeff T shouted out our mans today.
Who?
Goon and A. Smith.
Oh,
Devontae Yaps.
he popped up on my TikTok live earlier. He was
I had to meet him, bro. I had to meet him on Twitter, bro.
What you? Oh, you did say you did meet dude, didn't you? That wasn't you.
No,
somebody.
No, I muted him. I muted
Oh,
him.
so you had to mute him. Oh no, it was somebody else.
I ain't never met him. No. I definitely would have told that story. No, I ain't never met him. But yeah. Jeff T shouted him out. He said, "Y'all seen the dude that be analyzing them, like them type of stars, some type of film stars, like they prospects." They said, "Nah." He said, "He'd be like, she was one of the top players in the game, but the game got physical." Da 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 da. I'm like, man, this man is too funny. Like he did a whole like shout out to him for about 5 minutes. I said, oh snap, my boy done made it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like you said, bro, it's a finesse. But it's just one of those things. It's a psychological thing, bro. Like you said, like the dude who had the addiction to giving, it's probably a lot of dudes on there who are subscribers who never thought they would be subscribers. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. We can even go mainstream and non-adult content. Twitch is probably a website where a lot of people didn't think that they would be, you know what I'm saying, paying to sub up to somebody's channel. But, you know, you get to somebody's channel that's interesting.
Just without your parents' house.
Somewhere else. And, you know what I'm saying, you get hit with 3-minute ads. Castanet ads be like, no, DDG ads be like 8 minutes, bro. So you keep seeing that. You're going to want to be like, oh, let me throw a little 5 in so I don't get no more ads, bro. And then before you know it, you the one subbing up. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a lot of things on the internet. Same thing with Joe Budden podcast. Y'all see me. I got the dang YouTube premium now. But I got it because I told him, I was like, yo, we get the 5K subs, so I'm going to get premium, because people kept complaining that commercials was popping up on my reactions. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll get premium for y'all. Y'all ain't going to see no more commercials on the reactions. Ooh.
Premium is worth it though, 100%.
Premium is, bro.
Especially if you got YouTube Music with it too.
You got YouTube Music with it.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it.
On my phone, you can lock the phone, still listen to the music, no commercials. I'm like, yeah, I could watch movies on there, or you know, like movies that's already on YouTube. But now I don't have to worry about skip ad every 5 minutes. I can just watch it straight through. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. But you know, I'm saying all these things to say, like, it's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think you pay for that you eventually pay for. Joe Budden Patreon, OF, Twitch. Like, it's a lot of stuff you wouldn't think you pay for that you eventually just cave in and pay for.
Oh, at least once a year. I never end up, like, I always end up either unsubscribing or just I'll forget to pay it. But I at least once a year, yeah. At least once a year, it's just, you see one that's just so crazy. It's like, I gotta subscribe. I gotta see what it's hitting on. You know
I was about to say, you ain't look up the name. You ain't even try to Google.
Oh no, I've definitely. I do my research beforehand to see.
You say you can't find that? You said,
yeah, if I can, if this is the only
I
place,
did all I could. Let me go.
No.
Just a little $5.99 for the month.
Let me just go ahead and do it. But then after you do it, you just feel, even logging on there, you just feel gross. Like what am I doing right now? How did it come to this?
Mo unmuted. I wanted to see what Mo had to say.
Oh, my bad. I missed it.
Oh no, I was saying at least once a year.
No, hold on. Let me say this first. It was only one person where I was really considering. I was like, bro, if I ever do this, it'll be for this one person. And I never did it because it was just like a pride thing.
Oh, we talking about OF subscriptions?
Yeah, no, I done went ahead and did it a couple of times, but I never consistently though. Like it'll be for like maybe like a month, and then because I just wanted to see, and then I'll either like unsubscribe or whatever. But there's definitely been times where I was like, bro, I'm gonna just pay it. Like I don't care.
I'll say, all right. So I'll be honest. Like in the beginning, when I saw there was some girl with the free ones, there was one girl that was on, I think it was like Fashion Nova or something, that one of the models, bro. That was so bad. You like, y'all remember back in the day when Fashion Nova used to have the baddest models, bro? Now they just have like random chicks, you know, from IG, be like, oh, look at blah blah blah, and her Fashion Nova.
It used to be like Bernice Burgos, like that type of.
Yeah. But it was this one girl, and then so I clicked on the link and I saw that it was free. So I was like, let me see what the vibes is. So I went ahead, made an account, but then I saw all the good stuff you had to pay. I was
about to say also on them free accounts, how they get you. Cause look, I seen the free account a few years ago. I said, okay, bet, free account. Man, to sign up for an account, you got to put your card information. I said, oh, I ain't doing that. And I stopped my registration right there.
Yeah, so I just threw in my Cash App card on there. I was like, man, you know, ain't really nothing on here. And yeah, but man, yeah, it was a couple girls that I like subscribed to that were free, and turns out, you know, wasn't nothing going on. So then I was like, yeah, let me get up out of here, man. But yeah, other than that, nah, I ain't never really dive too deep into the OF, man. But yeah, it's definitely been a couple girls that I've been like, I don't know. I ain't gonna hold you. There was one girl that I knew in real life that had one that I really, really contemplate. I was like, I kind of want to see what you doing on here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a girl. I didn't know her personally, but I think I've talked about this on her before too. But like she started doing it, and she went to school in Cobb, but we just followed each other on Twitter or whatever. But it was just crazy watching her go from like, she might have like 3,000 followers, and then just gradually watching her move up to like 10, 20, 30. You know, it's especially because she grew up in like a good household. Like her parents did well for themselves. She went to college. Like she has a degree. Like you really don't have a real reason to be doing this. Like you drive a nice car. Like you're just doing it for the love of the game at this point. But I'm not mad at you. You know, definitely wasn't mad at her.
Yeah, man, it's a weird era where, because you know we grew up, I felt like it was like, I don't know about y'all, but for me as a kid, it was kind of like almost like a fantasy of like man, like these stars that you see. Oh, like, man, what if one day like that could be me or whatever, do. And now it's like every other girl, you know what I'm saying, on a social media account, you know what I'm saying, yeah, have some type of, you know, kind of like history or digital footprint of her wilding. And it's kind of like commonplace now, low key. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of insane how we went from that insane of a drastic change in the span of like 3-4 years.
Yeah, you remember the fappening?
Yeah. When everybody leaked, I was like, bro, yeah.
So it was like stuff like that. It was just kind of like, oh man, Jennifer Lawrence, like, you know.
Jennifer Lawrence. Nah. You know who was crazy? The first one, Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh yeah.
When she kept leaking, I was like, okay, she doing this on purpose now.
You remember the Rihanna ones?
She had a few.
But Rihanna be posting hers too.
I was just gonna say Rihanna. I feel like Rihanna used to just post herself. Like
she did that joint on the magazine cover.
I think it started like, I think she initially it got leaked, but then she was just like, I'm finna embrace it, and then just started like, I'm gonna just be nude. I think the same thing with like Kim K. Kim K just decided, I'm finna just embrace this, you know.
I know it's not the same level of fame, but Kalani Rogers, that's how she kind of got started.
Listen,
Kalani Rogers got some pictures.
No, she had a tape, right? But it wasn't her. It wasn't her though.
Yeah.
And but like people was like, Kalani Rogers, and then she said, that was not me, guys. But she said, okay, if y'all want to see the full tape, click here, and that's how she started her OF page.
Kalani Rogers got an OF.
Oh, it's
Hey, Mo. That's the one I was talking about. I wanted to buy that mug.
Oh no, I've seen the game footage. It's
I ain't paid for it. I ain't paid
Yeah.
for it. I ain't signed up. But that was the one I was on the verge of folding for. If you know me, y'all know I love me some Kalani Rogers. And shouts
That's
out to Kalani. I hope you're not
crazy.
watching this because I actually like.
Yeah, I didn't pay for it, but I've stumbled across some of the like I said, some of the game footage. Is
She top of the line, man. She top of the line, bro. Shouts out to Kalani Rogers, bro.
yeah, definitely shout out to her.
Yeah, that's crazy. I had no clue that she had an OF.
But I feel like it was back. It was back during that because I don't think she does it anymore. But
Nah, she's stepping away from the game now because she stepped away from streaming, and then so then they was like, "Oh, you still got OF?" She was like, "Yeah, that would be ending soon as well." So I think it's pretty dormant right now. She ain't post on it in like some months, probably like a year.
yeah, it was a wave for a few years. I do think it's starting to die down now. I don't see too many like new links in the timeline.
Hey, shouts out to my real. Oh no, what's her name about to do it? Lil Tay, because she about to turn 18.
That's so gross on so many levels.
She said, "Yo, I'm really thinking about starting an OF. If this gets 10,000 likes, then I'll do it." Bruh, that junk got 19,000 likes, and she responded, "That was quick." She's 17, bro. She turned 18 on July 29th.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Them dudes did the same thing with Bad Baby.
Bad Bobby, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
And the academic said what he said.
I'm gonna give him some grace though. He got hacked from that. That was from someone that was like they was tweeting a bunch of wild stuff from his page. That's the one time I'm gonna cut him some slack for.
I did not know that. After all these years,
Yeah.
that's the first time I heard that wasn't him. He was hacked.
No, yeah, because somebody that was by that point, enough people knew who Academics was that he couldn't just he wasn't anonymous at that point. Like he couldn't have got that off back then.
Yeah, from the first episode of Everyday Struggle, it was kind of over for like Everyday Struggle was kind of like act saying like, okay, I'm leaving my mom's, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving the basement and I'm showing the world who this person who's been talking all this trash is.
That was a great show while it lasted.
Yeah, it was.
It was only like maybe like 8 months or something like that, but it was. I feel like they was going viral like once a week.
Did y'all read the Joe Budden story from New York Times?
I didn't read it. I saw people talking about it, and I listened to the show. So they were talking about they were joking about it on the podcast or whatever. But he said he makes like
20 plus.
It's crazy.
But look, I brought it up because he said he found out like he wasn't getting paid at Complex.
Yeah, he said they was doing like sneaker deals and like using their name, and
it was something like he wasn't getting nothing at Complex. So that's why he left and did that big old storm and stuff like that. And that was my introduction really to listening to the JBP full time was when he left Everyday Struggle. Because I was watching Everyday Struggle and then I went to the JBP. And then once Rory and Mal left, I went to kind of Rory and Mal and then, you know, whatever else podcast is popping. I don't have a podcast home no more. You know, kind of right now I'm listening to a lot of Jeff T, but I don't have a main podcast home. But that kind of started everything. And, you know, he was right. Like, Brody won't get paid none. So he said the reason he and Ian decided to go to the New York Times and tell the story about how much they're making is to show people that you could do it independent. Because the deal that they got offered from Spotify was the same amount of money that they're making now, but they own everything. They own back catalog and they didn't have to delete their YouTube. They said they had to sign with Spotify, then they had to delete their YouTube or delete all the old videos that were already up there so they couldn't make any more money off of that.
Oh, that's crazy.
And all the rights would go to Spotify.
Yeah, no, that's dope because I remember one. My bad, bro.
No, I was just saying that's crazy. That's a horrible deal.
Yeah.
No, I just think it's crazy because I remember when Joe Budden was like Joe Budden had the reputation for being like the dirty rapper for a long time. Like Joe Budden had the reputation for wearing wife beaters and smoking cigarettes. You know what I mean? So yeah, for him to be in that position now, it is kind of crazy. I mean, I don't dislike. I mean, I still listen to the show, so I like this version of the show, but it'll never be what it was like when it was just Joe, Rory, and Maul. Like that was, you can make a case for that being like one of the greatest podcasts of all time around that time.
It probably is the greatest pod. I say it's the greatest because Rory said it. He said it was the greatest pod of all time. And ever since
I wouldn't be mad at somebody saying that at all. It's definitely up there for sure.
You can't go against that. You know what I'm saying? Like, shouts out to Tax Sloan. Shouts out to
Shout out to I used to listen to Tax podcast every week, bro. That was, man.
What's
Bodega Boys.
The dude who died.
Combat Jack,
the first hip hop podcaster. Rest in peace. God rest his soul. Salute to all of them, but it just ain't Joe. I feel like Grits and Eggs might get there, but like Buddy slowed down after he, got drunk and called out Martin Luther King on Twitter that one night.
He back active now though. He been dropping.
Yeah, he back active, but it's a bit more quiet than what it was. He was on fire like a month ago.
Yeah, he was scorching.
He
building it back up though. I noticed him. He's starting to progressively, but that did kind of he kind of had to lay low for like a week or so after.
Yeah. He came back and said his auntie died.
Okay. I've lost family members. I never really it never made me go on a rant against MLK, but I mean, it's his own. I like dude though. He seemed like a solid guy.
Yeah, shouts out to Deontay Kyle, bro. You wanted to say something more?
No, I actually have never heard Grits and Eggs pod. I've heard of it, but I just never actually listened to it. And I ain't hear about that MLK thing, but I'm gonna definitely probably go check them out. I've been looking for some more pods. I still listen to Rory and Maul. The JBP, I ain't gonna lie, like ever since everything happened, I haven't went back and watched the full episode. And then anytime I think about going back, episodes be like 4 hours almost. I was like, man, I don't know if I really feel like tapping into all this. But I have been looking for some more pods, so I might go back and check them out. I watched Dr. Umar on the Don't Call Me White Girl podcast.
Yeah.
Man, that dude is hilarious, man.
Oh yeah, he 1-on-1 for sure.
Yeah, it's just like I had texted Rashad one of the things he said, right? He was like, so why do you need to have 2 wives? He was like, I need to have 2 queens for what I got to do for the community. I said, this man, like, bro. He was like, yeah, I need, because I need them to be like my secretaries. You'll say, Dr. Umar, why not you go get a secretary and then have a wife? But if I'm spending as much time with you, with the secretary, and then I'm going to want to have those benefits too. I'm like, what? And then he was like, yeah, I gotta have and then when I do have my 2 queens, one got to be dark skinned, one got to be light skinned. Cause I can't let them cause they're gonna say if I have 2 dark skinned queens that I'm a dark skinned supremacist. If I have 2 light skinned queens, I'm a light skinned supremacist. So I gotta have one of each.
Dark skinned supremacist is crazy.
Yeah, bro. I'll tell you, he is like, I'm like, but he do be saying some real stuff though. He do be saying some real stuff. It's just, and it's
he is the definition of hit or miss.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, but overall, yeah, I'm looking for a new pod. I like that. Crash Dummies. Crash Dummies are cool too. All right, I listen to them every now and then.
Oh yeah, I be seeing them on my TikTok feed. They be doing like the phone calls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see them.
And then Poor Minds. I really like Poor Minds. But
yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of Drea.
Facts.
And her work. It's crazy because I used to see Lex P on my timeline. She was like one of the OG like Black Twitter like vixens or whatever you want to call it. I used to see her on my timeline back in like 2014, 2015 before I don't even think they was doing the podcast back then.
Oh dang.
Bro, someone tweeted her, they said first Coco Jones, then Taylor Rooks, Alex P, please no. And then she responded with a bunch of crying emojis.
At least she
yeah,
got a good sense of humor about it, because some of them
for sure.
would have been like, "Oh, you never had a chance anyway."
I'm gonna just pull up a clip from Deontay Cal. This is a random one. I don't know what it's talking about, but yeah.
You have to stop seeking equity and degeneracy. That's what you want to be equal to these white men with. Their ability to be degenerate. Your ability to get away with harming others because you view masculinity as violence. Your whole idea is packed up as masculinity is violence. Now, to be able to carry out violence is a masculine thing.
Mhm.
Violence in and of itself does not determine how masculine you are. It's a tool because it could be used as a tool to protect.
Facts.
It's a very masculine thing to do, protect.
Mhm.
If we was hunting and gathering, the ability to carry out violence will provide.
Mhm.
Being violent towards a woman because she rejects you, that's not no masculine shit. You're a pussy, bitch. Why didn't Cassie leave? We watched the whole video of her trying to get away.
We watched the video of her trying to leave.
We watched the video
Mhm.
of her trying to leave.
Right.
In 4K.
Trying to get away.
And we saw what happened.
Yeah.
First of all, to not acknowledge the psychological effects of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
He was using a woman as a sex slave.
That's what she was.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
One of the dudes got up on the stand and said the sessions would last sometimes up to 10 hours. If you think a woman is enjoying that, have you ever had sex with a woman? It was on a consistent basis. He was paying people to rape her.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy is probably like, as far as black men go in this music industry, this is how you operate with pure evil.
Yeah.
Because he saw equity in degeneracy. He made the money.
Mm-hmm.
He had the opportunity to make a lot of promising careers. A lot of successful black artists could have came up under him. He had an ear for music, and he allowed his degeneracy to overshadow his talent. What he learned from Clive Davis is how to fuck an artist and how to fuck them over. Both ways. Both ways. Fuck them over financially, fuck them over mentally. That's what you get from Clive Davis. He sought his equity and degeneracy. We're going to see some stuff like that. This is what we have to understand what that is. We have to understand that's what they're doing. You have to stop listening to men who hate women but desire women for their sexual validation.
So yeah, that's Deontay Cal.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely checking out.
It's funny though, because it's like all his clips when he was going viral and stuff like that were like this. It's like, why you want acceptance from white folks? Stop looking at like that was his whole thing. He break it down with numbers and history and stuff like that, big words. And I watched one of the episodes where it was like one of my homegirls was on there, Jamila from Georgia State. Shout out to Jamila. Shout out to Adimar R. Her her artist and stuff like that as well, who I friend of the channel, stuff like that. So I'm watching that episode. This man is jokes. For the whole hour and a half, they just joke and just. I'm like, man, I didn't even know they like laughed on this podcast. I thought it was just all serious, but he funny. He got a good sense of humor too.
Yeah, I seen him. I know he did an interview with Kevin on Stage not too long ago, but I seen like some of the clips.
Watch that one.
Yeah, I seen some of the clips. Dude, they was talking about some real stuff, but it was mostly joking. Like, I think that's the thing that I like about. I've never listened to a full episode, but like the clips that I've seen, I do like the fact that it's addressing some real stuff, but it ain't like overly preachy to the point where I don't want to listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, he definitely joking on there. They broke down the whole thing of Michael Jackson's career on there. Like it was pretty funny. So yeah,
I think he's from here too, right?
Yeah. He from Atlanta. Yeah. He did a meet and greet on like Memorial Day, and they sold it out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he's definitely like at the top. And then Tyler Creator shouted him out in an interview.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they asked him about podcasts, and he was like, "Oh, I hate podcasts, this and that." They're like, "Do you like any?" He said, "Deontay Kyle is dope." And then he shouted out, I think he shouted out the one that Mo was just talking about, Crash Dummies. I think he shouted them out, and that was it. He's like, everybody else, nah, I hate how everybody has an opinion, and opinions suck. They don't know what they're talking about, and wah, 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 wah. You know, like I said, just getting back to his whole rant on this album. Just a lot of pretentious stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you complaining about a lot of the stuff that you consume. Like, you just so like more mature than everybody else, and you so much better than them. And it's like, bro, you came up off the internet. Like, Odd Future came up off the internet. Odd Future came up because Kanye West tweeted out the oldie link, like, or Yonkers link, excuse me.
I still remember that when it happened too.
That changed your life, the internet. So it's like, for y'all to, you know, flip around because you turned 30 and not like the internet is just whack and you don't like it no more and this and that. And you've been promoting your album all week on the internet. Like, come on, give me a break, bro. Like, I don't know.
Facts.
I could be the same way sometimes. Everybody could be a little bit pretentious sometimes. It's just that we see Tyler on camera, so it's like more documented. But it's definitely been certain stuff that it's even certain stuff I posted on social media that I look back on like a year later, like, that was kind of corny. You didn't, but in the moment, I felt it with my chest or whatever.
We all have those moments. It's like the stay woke. Like, we was like, oh, I'm woke. Yeah, stay woke. You know, yeah, black. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of stuff we was doing, and then we realized like later it was just like, that wasn't it. But that's part of the freshman. But I feel like you should be past the point of like, I feel like the point of looking down on the internet and thinking the internet was corny and this and that, I feel like that time was like 2014, 2015. Like, kind of after that, it's like, bro, if you ain't pick up the importance of the internet and just accept the internet like it's here and it's going to stay here, then you kind of looking kind of crazy, especially if you're still using it. Now, if you just don't use it no more and you want some Jay-Z, like, I don't tweet. And then your Twitter, you ain't tweet in like 2-3 years, I get it. But like, if you're active on social media and the internet, don't come talking to me about how whack the internet is. Go ahead, Mo.
No, I wasn't finna say anything. I mean, pretty much. I mean, what made me think about when you was talking about it though was that one song by Buddy, Black.
Shouts out to Buddy, bro. Shouts out to Buddy. Shouts out to the West Coast, man, for sure.
Facts.
Yeah, man. I seen Buddy, bro, and that's like the main thing I told him. But it's funny because I didn't realize that was his most popular song. So I was like, oh no, I came across it's like telling him the song everybody tells him about. I just wanted to tell him, I was like, yo, that was so dope how you did that. Like, it didn't come across as like corny or self-righteous or preachy. Like, it was a dope song. He said, I appreciate that. I was like, yeah, I seen you on Eric Andre too with Donald Glover. He said, a lot of people been telling me that lately. I was like, yeah, man, it was pretty cool, man. He said, oh, thanks, man. And like, he was on the music video with I'm about to say his government, with Tony Snow, with Cuzzos out there in the West Coast. Shouts out to Cuzzos. Shouts out to the whole LA. Shouts out to La Russell out there in the Bay. Who else we want to shout out on the West Coast? Shouts out to AG Chike. Still doing his thing. Shouts out to Ray Vaughn if you want to shout out Ray Vaughn. I don't really listen to Ray Vaughn, but he been, really promoting himself, so shouts out to Ray Vaughn. Shouts out to Jid.
Free Crip Mac.
Free Crip Mac. Channel 5, Crush.
Facts. What's it called? Do we consider Louisiana the West Coast?
No. We got a lot of the same sounds, but nah.
Okay, well, hey,
But Louisiana, the South.
yeah, true. Well, I just wanted to throw in there, hey, make America slime again out now. Shout out to that boy, Young Boy, man. You know,
I might actually listen to that. I might not listen to the whole thing, but I'm definitely gonna go through. I'm a casual NBA YoungBoy fan, but I do like him as a rapper though.
He got 2 shows in New Orleans, bro. This year,
It's gonna be a movie,
bro.
I don't know if it's gonna be a good movie or a bad one, but it's gonna be a movie.
Man, I tell you, my first night here was the Rod Wave show. This was before I fully moved in. This was just December. I moved in January. And so I went to the Rod Wave show. And in between Moneybagg Yo, who was the last opener, and Rod Wave, it was like probably like 40 minutes to an hour. And the DJ just started playing, or the arena DJ, whoever, just started playing Nothing But Young Boy. Bruh, that whole arena, it was louder for dang Young Boy than it was some of the opening acts.
Crazy.
Buddy was in jail. He was locked up. He been on house arrest since I don't know when. And when he come back home in Louisiana to do a show in Louisiana, that roof might just come up off.
that's a fact.
That roof might just come. Because they singing the slow songs, Nevada. They singing the flash song. You better put that on, man. They was... You know how Young Boy, he sound like Boosie, like, you know what I'm saying? How Boosie like rap with his soul and the spirit in it with that accent. He rapped just like that. So it's like they was feeling it. Folks was like looking like they about to cry singing the songs. And yeah, he gonna tear it up. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, shouts out to Young Boy. Who else we want to shout out from the West Coast before we close?
From the West Coast. I'm gonna just pick like some random ones. Shout out to Lil B.
Shout out to the bass guy.
Yeah, shout out to the bass guy. Shout out to Dom Kennedy, one of my favorite rappers ever.
Shout out Westside Boogie.
Westside Boogie.
I check his music out. I've definitely seen his name before. I gotta check his music out.
Oh, you gotta listen to Everything for Sale, bro. That's one of my favorite albums, bro.
Is that the one with the dudes? It's like outside of a funeral or something like that.
Yeah.
Got the gloves on.
Yeah, I believe
I've seen that cover before. I gotta check his music out.
Yeah, Everything for Sale, bro. I'm telling you, one of the definitely a great album. I'll say it probably in my personal, probably like top 10 hip hop albums of all time.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, because personally, I just really, from top to bottom, it just he really talking on there.
Okay, I definitely gotta check that out.
Where IDK from?
I have no clue.
I have no clue.
That's one of them rappers I've always seen their names, but never I never really like dove into their music. But I've always seen his name come up.
He's like influenced by like old Kanye, so it's like just think about old Kanye for real. I think the only reason why he hasn't popped more.
It says he's from PG County. So.
Oh, he's from DMV here, East Coast dude. I feel like the only reason why he hasn't popped more is because like I said, he sounds like old Kanye, and it's like people already got old Kanye. Like I could just listen to old Kanye if I want that. I don't want to listen to this new guy who's doing a Kanye impression.
Facts.
You on mute.
Jelani, you on mute.
I was gonna say JID is pretty popular, but I feel like that's why he never went to like that super next level. It's just because there's always gonna be the Kendrick comparisons.
But I mean, I feel like Kendrick. Okay, this is not a JID diss. I feel like Kendrick, I can understand what he's saying. Like sometimes Jid, when he raps fast to show off he can rap fast, I don't know what he be saying. Like it's on some like Eminem. Like today it was the Spaces, and I sent this to both of y'all, the Spaces, while it was going on, and they were actually talking about some good stuff. And then it was like later it just got to like they just yapping BS and stuff. But when it was some good stuff, Alchemist joined in. He was listening. They said, I actually compare like the lyrical miracle spiritual dudes to like mumble rap because it's like it's both kind of saying nothing, a whole lot of nothing. A lot of jit stuff where he just rapping. Like he got the song with Eminem on the Prelude for his album coming out next month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a word both of them saying. They just it's like, ain't music supposed to be enjoyable? What is this?
Facts.
The spelling bee? So
Yeah,
what
some
I
of them.
want in
My
my
bad.
music- Oh no, you good. What I want in my music, I like lyrical. I love lyrical. I want you to be saying something. I want substance. I also want to know what you're saying. Kendrick can rap his behind. He could rap around the building. We all know that. I know what Kendrick is saying. I know what J. Cole has mastered the slow cadence and saying the most stuff. I don't know how he did it. He found a happy medium, the perfect medium that I feel like no other rapper has found. Because Kendrick can still rap fast, but like Kendrick, I know what he's saying. Jid, on a lot of them songs where he rapping, I do not know what he's saying.
No, facts. I think that's what kind of it's hard for me to get into Jid a lot. You know, I know we've kind of, I don't know if we talked about this on the pod, but yeah, I don't know. Jid, for some reason, I just never been able to really get into it. And I think because it is just, you know, you trying to do too much with the flow sometimes, you know? I think just like as you said with like J. Cole, he knows how to just consistently go through it where it's all just understandable and you're just going through it. It's a vibe, it's, you know, and like Kendrick, and I don't even feel like Kendrick raps super fast where it's just like, as you said, like you understand everything he's saying. Like he'll have his moments where he really just get into a bag where it's like he's just flowing through, but it's still at like a good pace. You know, Jid just be, it just don't ever be at like a good pace in my opinion, you know? So, but I don't know. I haven't, it just ain't never been a song that I just listened to and I was like, man, you know, but speaking of, shout out to Nick Grant. I've been listening to his last I Take It Personal a lot lately. That was a really good album that dropped this year. And, you know, that's what it reminds me of, you know, when I think of those artists who you rapping and it's just a consistent flow, but it's not on some lyrical miracle where it's like, you know, I'm rapping AABB, you know, all these different crazy rhyme schemes. It's, you know, it's just like, bro, just let people understand what you're saying. Like, hit them with a message, you know? But, like, yeah, Jid be like, rat-a-tat-tat-tat, I hit it in the back, gonna hit it, clap, clap, clap.
Yeah, you gotta, I like a lot of different rap, but you gotta, I'd rather listen to like a less lyrical rapper than to listen to a rapper that's just rapping for the sake of rapping, but they're not saying nothing.
Exactly.
Them dudes really be thinking that they like better than they holier than now than the non-lyrical rappers, I guess. But y'all not like you just said, y'all both not saying nothing. It's just you saying nothing faster than they saying nothing.
Facts. But you know, them white people hype them up, so you know they just keep it going. White people love a fast rapper, bro.
They love that type of rap.
Like I said, bro, white kids, like white boys, they can shoot threes and they rap fast.
Facts.
Shouts out to Lil Dicky.
Hey, shout out to Lil Dicky, man.
I want to shout out, you know, if we just shout out great rappers, I want to shout out Lareezy once again. Met him for the first time this past weekend, and hopefully we could set something up and everything like that in the future. But Lareezy be rapping his behind off, dog. He be rapping his behind off for sure.
Yeah, no, Lareezy dope, man. I've been going through his discography since you put me on to him.
Yes, sir. Shouts out to Samara Sin. I was trying to pull up the picture of him, Samara Sin. I couldn't find it. But shout out to Samara Sin, definitely like doing it for hip hop.
Facts. Shout out to the
I'm about to say she carried XXL this year, won't it? Oh no, Baby Chief do it. Shout out Baby Chief. Baby Chief do it be going in, bro. I ain't gonna lie. In terms of the YNs and mainstream music, like Baby Chief do it he's still nice. He's still nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shouts out to Baby Chief do it.
no facts. Yeah, he hard.
Yeah, I seen his like I said, that's one of the few people from the list who I heard like some of their music before, like the snippets that I've heard for him, because he's like a teenager still, I think, right?
He don't disclose his age.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but I think he's like a teenager. But for him to be his age, he could rap for real.
He got to be like 17.
Somewhere, probably. He's no older than 20.
Yeah. I've seen a bunch of videos where they've asked him his age, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't talk about my age online."
Which is all right.
I hate when people like who's 30 do that. Like, who did that? All right. I'm gonna take a risk here by saying she fine publicly, but Nyla Simone, DJ Nyla Simone.
No, I agree. She's pretty.
So I actually texted her happy birthday. That's why I'm saying. But she don't never text back. She didn't text back when then. Like she just decided to. She texted me randomly, like when I mentioned her in the article one time, and she was like, "Hey, Rashad, thanks for mentioning me in this article." Whoa, da, 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 da. But it was like she ignored all my other texts, and I was just like, "So you just decided to text me whenever you feel like it?" Okay, I bet. Say that. But anyways, with her, Charlemagne, he revealed that she was 30, and she was like, "Why'd you tell my name my age on the air? This and that. It's some people who think I'm 22," and I'm like, "Oh, thank you." He's like, "Ain't nothing wrong with being 30." And she was like, "Oh, stop saying that." And I don't know. I feel like it's so many artists like that just don't say their name, their age. They don't want to tell people their age. Like I seen Caribou was kind of insecure about her age on stream when people ask her how old she is. And like I know Anicia, she was like quick to jump to like, "Yeah, I know I'm auntie and this and that. I'm old." Anicia was like 26 when she was saying this. It was just like all that stuff is just kind of crazy to me, dog. Like I understand the music industry might treat you differently, especially as a woman when you're a certain age, but I don't know. A lot of it seems kind of dumb to me.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely see how people be feeling insecure, because especially people under about 24, 25, they quick to call somebody young. So
for sure. My intern called me I said, "I'm 30." She said, "Dang." And, I don't know. She might be 20 or 21.
Oh, okay. So
but look, she said Deli. Like I think she called like one of her cats Deli, or her boyfriend's cat name is Deli. And she was like, "Yeah, his name Deli." And I sent her like Ice Spice Deli. And she said, "You really showing your age because we've been canceled her." And I was like, I wanted to tell her like I was a part of like that entire beef coverage, but I ain't even call it. I was just like, I was like, "Oh, for having the girl in the video." She said, "Yeah, ain't that Double X? Ain't you tapped in with the streamers?" I was like, "Oh, the intern is disrespectful, bro." But yeah, that's like my little cousin. That my little cousin. Anyways, she said, "Yeah, and we canceled her for how she treat her old best friend and what's her name, Cleopatra, whatever."
Cleopatra,
yeah, I knew about that. Isn't that?
So Cleopatra, the DJ.
Oh, from Atlanta? No, not her.
Okay, that's
fine. She fine too, though. Shouts out to Cleopatra. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
she was in the promotion for Ben Riley new album, and I was like, man, that is one beautiful woman, bro. Nice. But no, she the Cleopatra who used to be doing like the skits up in New York.
Dark skin. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I thought there were two different ones, but I just had to, confirm.
Yeah, and then but she beefing with Veda on the low, and ain't nobody really talking about that one. But I'm just keeping an eye out on it, just in case it pop out on a mainstream level.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen him on the timeline before.
Yeah.
She kind of pretty too.
Who?
Or sometimes I'll be seeing certain videos of the Cleopatra girl. She not ugly.
Oh, the New York Cleopatra, Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Yeah. She cool. Atlanta Cleopatra though, it's that crack.
I'm gonna have to do my research.
Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick.
She might be my favorite DJ in the her and DJ Unruly. Those are probably my two favorite DJs.
She play a lot of that like alternative stuff too.
Yeah, she just did they just did a URL event where it was just all like blog era music.
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
Yeah.
Search it. Dang,
Okay.
she just did a whole thing of nothing but blog era music.
I think she had popped up on my I was trying to look her up. She had popped up on my For You tab on TikTok, and she was advertising that party for the. It's crazy because I was thinking about because it was here, right?
Yeah.
She was. I saw her advertising. I was like, damn, that would be a fire party to go because it was 4th of July weekend. I should have went out there.
She be affiliated with a lot of Kennesaw State folks. I wonder if she went to Kennesaw State.
That would make sense.
Yeah, if you ever see an event, she's going to be DJing that, it's going to probably be a good event.
I'm gonna follow her on social media. Next time she has something,
Yeah. I rock with her. Every event I've ever gone to that she was at, it was always pretty dope.
Yeah, I trust women DJs because I know they're gonna bring the women out. So
Max.
Shouts out to David X. She played the David X album release party in January. David X just released his album this week. So salute to David X for sure. Shouts out to Anicia as always. Make sure y'all get that baby, that Grady baby. I was about to say Grady, baby Grady, but Grady baby for sure. Shouts out to Jay Newton, real spitter from KSU. He went to KSU. Shouts out to Dalen Gideon, of course. Spook. Really, the whole Atlanta, for real. I'm trying to think of anybody else to shout out. Oh, Jelani Imani and David the Tragic, they released a mixtape a few months ago. I liked it. It was pretty cool. So shouts out to those two as well. Shouts out to Glory Girl, 2950, my dog. Who else? That's pretty much it. That's it for my shout outs.
All right, I ain't got no shout outs, so you can find me on X. I'm like, bro, we about to hit 3 hours. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm getting tired. But yeah. You can find me on X at Monos __ on Instagram at RBMo __ and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, shout out to Steph Curry for staying loyal.
I don't really have no shout outs right now, but you can find me on Twitter _Jelani, 2 underscores at the end. You can find us on TikTok at, I want to make sure I get this right. I want to say it's the.1am.podcast. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna correct that. But salute.
I do actually have one more. Hey, shout out to Living Royalty for doing their last fashion show. Shout out to the guys. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Barry.
That's the end of it.
It's the last fashion show. I don't know what they're going to do with the brand.
Oh, okay.
So excited to see where they go from here. But yeah, shout out to them boys, man.
Shout out to Will. I ain't seen him in forever, but shout out to Will.
Shout out to Will for sure. Shouts out to Tommy 4K. Shouts out to India Sean. Shouts out to Jalen Josie for sure. Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in to another edition of 1 a.m. RB Mo. Jelani, we will be back again next week. Appreciate y'all young boys. Until next time, y'all take care of y'all selves.
Chicks on your APs, looking like Weez. Haven't seen